Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Novak Motors. Your next news update is at 2:30. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024. WBAP salutes University Park. Thank you, University Park, for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Beautiful Texans, welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Yeah, you know what we're talking about today. I mean, my goodness, how historic does a topic have to be before you're wondering, I wonder if we're going to talk about that on WBAP all day. You have never seen this before. Joe Biden dropping out. It's just another in a long line on the checkbox of how weird, how goofy, how mutated and malignant of a tumor this election season is. So, just got a little bit weirder. Joe Biden drops out. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it with Dan Snell, my winsome guest on the James Show. Welcome back, Dan Snell. Biden dropped out. I guess the closest historical comparison that I've seen thus far be made over and over is to LBJ dropping out. And that's pretty close, and that didn't turn out too well for his party in the election, did it? Dan, you with us? Did you hit mute on your phone on accident? We're off to a stellar start.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
My apologies. There we go.
That's all right. We all do it.
Johnson, 1968. I was alive. I do remember that. Yeah, you're right. It didn't turn out very good for their party. But as you mentioned at the top of your show, these are unprecedented times. The amazing last 25 days, we've had the debate and all the brouhaha about the debate, and then we had calls for Biden to step down. Then we had an assassination attempt. Then we had the RNC and all that excitement. And then Biden does step down, and now it's all about the vice president. Is she going to be the candidate? So in the last 25 days, there's been nonstop excitement.
Yeah, and over this long time span, it lets you know that it wasn't the debate. That's not why he dropped out. That wasn't the actionable final straw. The final straw was the donors withdrawing their money. Now, the donors would withdraw their money because of some internal polling that you and I haven't seen, or I don't think you've seen it. I know I haven't seen it. And, you know, Pelosi's seen it. They showed it to Joe Biden. They said, we're going to go public with these numbers or info. That's the nearest I've got on what the actionable thing is that made him drop out, the donors.
Yeah, I wish it would have been, the actual thing would have been, I'm going to do what's right for the country and what's right, you know, for his party, as he said. But it was time. I mean, he had served, he's had a long career. For his legacy, he should have stepped aside. The money was drying up. It was momentum. It's just like when in a sports team, when the momentum just keeps going for you or against you, it's hard to stop that ball rolling, and that's what happened. And you're right. The dollars were drying up, and you can't win without dollars.
Well, the interesting part is we now know who really runs the country, because the joke is, you know, this guy's not in charge. Who really is? Well, whoever these donors are, they're the ones who can control who an entire candidate is for one of the political parties. Who are these people? Who are the people that, you know, we just found out who the Wizard of Oz is behind the curtain, but who are they?
Yeah, right here in Kansas, the Wizard of Oz, where I'm from. It's going to be interesting now is what's going on behind the scenes. President Obama has not formally, at least in the last half hour, to my knowledge, has not endorsed her. And there's, you know, some talk, you and I talked about it, I think, a previous show. Is there some long shot that Michelle Obama might become the candidate because the polls show her as a significant winner over Donald Trump? So everything looks like it's the vice president, but who knows?
Dan Snell, who do you think it's going to be?
I honestly, if I had, of course, you know, it's fun. Last time we were together, you said you'd have me back today to see whether I was right about my 48 hours and Biden will step down. So I got one right.
That puts me in. You know what? He gets like 20 points for that one, Garrett. Put Dan down for another 20 points. There you go. All right.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you know, most of the time, you know, 7 times out of 10, I'm wrong. But if you're in baseball, batting 300 gets you in the Hall of Fame. So I still think that Michelle Obama behind the scenes is going to be the one that emerges, even though everything looks like the money, the names on all the bank accounts, all the endorsements. I think anything could happen because what we don't know is there hasn't been enough time for, as unfortunately, every political race is about, pointing out how bad the other person is and all the horrible things in their past, and that's why you should vote for me. And so I think we're going to start to see all of a sudden things come out, the research come out that Vice President Harris is going to have some embarrassing moments, and Michelle Obama could look like the hero that rides into the Democratic convention as the one who can save the day.
Well, I believe that Reuters poll that says she gives them the best chance of winning. If they can talk her into it, that's what you got to hope for if you're a Democrat. But if they don't talk her into it, the bench is looking really bleak. If I had to put money on it, if you gave me like $100 bill, said who do you put it on? I think I would have to put it on Kamala.
Yeah, well, that's a good bet. You know, my daughter Mandy lives there in Dallas, and I could deliver that $100. So let's say this: you're going to go with the vice president. I'm going to say it's going to not be her, and I'll come live and in person to the James Show, and somebody will give somebody $100. But I'm going to say it's not going to be the vice president. You say it is. We'll see.
Oh my goodness! I just wrote myself into a $100 bet. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Dan Snell. His website is winsomeway.com. Winsomeway.com. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, great to be with you. Stay winsome.
All right, now let me ask you the same question I asked Dan. Who do you think is going to be the replacement? 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I'll tell you, I really think it's Kamala, but we'll run through the list of other people who are likely, who are at least being thrown around in the conversation. I really don't see anyone coming out of left field on this one, but I've gotten so many predictions wrong. I'm not going to put my foot down too hard on any of these. So your opinion's welcome. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I'm James Parker. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Coming up Tuesday morning at 6:17, who's running the country following Joe Biden's disappearance? The latest from D.C.
And at 7:17, will there be more calls for Joe Biden to leave the White House immediately? And what did Kamala have to say in her first public appearance since he vanished?
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief meteorologist Brad Barton with your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports. And Nicole Ose has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Tuesday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Homeowners, it happened to me last week. I had to get a contractor to get something fixed at my home. It wasn't my roof, but he was supposed to come on Wednesday, and then I got a text, I'm having car trouble. Can I come on Saturday? And just Saturday, texted me, I'm on my way, ghosted me, never showed up. Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to get a home service contractor and it's hard just to even get him to show up, and then he doesn't answer my call after that? James Parker here. I want you to remember Paradigm Roofing. That's the number one thing that they start with. They don't even start with the roof. You know what they start with? They start with answering your call. They start with calling you back or answering your text. They start with getting you on the schedule and showing up on time. Just showing up, period, is a miracle these days. But once that happens, once you make the call and the ball is set in motion, you're going to get a full-time job supervisor on your job site. So you'll have someone to bounce questions on the entire time. If you're not happy with what's going on, you have an emergency valve. You have Greg Hiltz, the owner of Paradigm Roofing. His phone number is going to be on the bottom of your contract. So there's ultimate accountability, transparent pricing and estimates. And that's what you got to do. You got to call Paradigm Roofing if you need to get your roof fixed. 972-542-7774. 972-542-7774. ParadigmRoofs.com or 972-542-7774.
This report is brought to you by GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear. The This is Shane Mullen with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. I don't have a funny nickname or a silly TV spot. We do have over 40 years experience fighting for injured North Texans and low pre-suit fees. Being local matters, and we win. Call me, 214-INJURED, mullenandmullen.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Remember, that's Cars with a K.
Men, if it's been a while, you're not alone. Don't be fooled by newcomer companies and promises of shockwave therapy. Men's Edge Medical will make you feel like a young man again the right way. Call 972-996-0900.
This is Ernie Brown sitting here with Jeff Jr. of Trajan Wealth. You've helped a lot of people determine how much to put into their 401k and what investments to put it into, but you mentioned a big mistake that most people make. What's that?
One of the biggest mistakes people make is leaving their 401k behind when they leave their job. And another big mistake is rolling it into your new 401k.
Really? Why is that?
By leaving it behind, you completely lose control. You never want to leave your money with an old employer. And if you roll it into a new 401k, you'll often have limited investment options and may incur costs to do so. Trajan Wealth can help complete the paperwork free of charge and do a tax-free rollover. We can then help invest it according to your exact retirement goals and not just what the employer's offering.
If you have an old 401k or one that you rolled over to a new employer, call Trajan Wealth today at 469-579-3500. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
We have about a 20 to 30 minute slowdown in Kaufman County on eastbound Highway 80. They've closed down the left lane for construction at Clements Drive. That has you stop and go back from East Fork Road. Las Colinas, there's some construction westbound 635 between Valley View and the Bush Turnpike. They've closed down the right lane, just a minor slowdown as you approach the work zone there. And same story in Fort Worth, 121 westbound, except the left lane's closed down between Beach Street and Riverside Drive, but still just a minor slowdown. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
Thomas J. Henry has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and Bloomberg Businessweek for securing record-breaking results for clients injured in accidents. For more info or to start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by the Texas Department of Transportation. If you think you need to speed, keep in mind that officers are out in force this month, reminding drivers to slow down or pay up. It's called Operation Slowdown. Speeding can cost you time, money, and hassle. It's just not worth it. A message from TxDOT.
DFW's most trusted news, talk, traffic, and weather station. News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Listen, I am super excited to be here and excited about sharing this moment in history with you. But if I sound a little weird, I'm having to wear Garrett's headphones, and I left my headphones at my home studio like an idiot. And it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it feels weird. It feels like when you go to your friend's house and he has a swimming pool, and he's like, hey, you want to go swimming? And you're like, yeah, but I didn't bring my swimsuit. Oh, you can wear one of mine. You know, this is a little private, a little close. So if I sound odd, it's not you. It's not you, it's me. But this is a hilarious day. Joe Biden finally drops out, something that many people have predicted. And now that it's happened, I'm so surprised that when he dropped out, they didn't immediately have the replacement ready. That lets me know they don't have the replacement ready, because this is not what you want. You do not want this Lord of the Flies moment where we all have to figure out who's in whose tribes, and then we're going to kill Piggy or whatever the book says. And I think that they're going to wait on about a week or so's worth of polling to see if someone rises to the top about giving them the best chance to beat Donald Trump, and then they'll say whoever that is. This isn't going to be picked. This person isn't going to be picked on their principles or on their policy positions, on if they're the best person to run America. This is just all about winning at this point, and that's why I got kicked out, because there was no path for him to win. You may say, well, the donors withdrawed. Why the donors withdraw? Because he was going to lose. 800-288-9227 for some of the obvious questions. If not Kamala, who? Or maybe you think it is going to be Kamala. Let's go to the phones. Julian Saginaw, you're first up on the James Show on WBAP. Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, if Obama doesn't try to get her butt back in there, I think the possibility of Gavin Newsom and Pete Buttigieg, if they can get Kamala to walk away.
How did they escape the criticism that you passed over both a female and a person of color?
I don't know that they can. It's just, and Kamala may be able to, hang in there, but I'm afraid with Pelosi's connections with California hero out there that, is destroying that part of the...
Right, and isn't Gavin Newsom is Nancy Pelosi's great nephew by marriage or something? They're somehow familial. There's a connection there.
Yeah, there is something.
Well, listen, I was sort of asking that question because I have my own answer to it. I'm just not too thrilled with it when I say how are they going to escape the criticism that they passed over a female and a person of color? And I think my best answer, as I've evolved on this, thinking about it for a couple days now, is the people who would usually do the criticizing are going to keep their mouth shut. That's all they got to do. The people that usually criticize that are going to be on their side, so they're not even going to bring it up. They'll be able to bury that in a second. Why would we think that would stop them? But look,
You're exactly right.
Right. So here's the weird part. Then aren't they implying, if not totally admitting, that she was just a token? She was a DEI candidate, someone to put on the ticket just to check a couple boxes because they think the electorate's so stupid that, we'll get your vote. We'll put a person of color or a female on our ticket. And that kind of proves it.
Yeah, and I think that, and I don't, I think Buttigieg has some. He carries himself well, but I think that would also try to check a box for them as well.
Oh, the gay thing, yeah, that probably helps. Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Julie. Good call. 5 points to Julie since we're doing points today. Okay, Robert and Joshua, you're next up on WBAP. What do you think?
Well, I think they've got 3 or 4 choices. They can do Hillary, Newsom, or Obama, but I think they're going to go with Kamala and possibly Newsom.
Yeah,
because she's got the money from the current coffers, and then it wasn't too long ago that they were combating the 25th Amendment because of who would become president if they got rid of Clinton. Now, if it's Kamala and Newsom, I don't think they'll have a problem doing the 25th Amendment to get rid of Kamala so that Newsom gets in there. And that way they can keep the money that they've got in the coffers already and get Newsom in there.
I don't think people should care so much about the money. They will find a way. They can't give it directly to the next campaign, but they could give it to a super PAC that would do the same sort of media buys that the campaign would do with that money. So it's probably not a big of an incentive as people are given to it. But I mean, what the hell do I know? But
then you got the case of
the 25th Amendment. Yeah, and I talked to what was that, Talmadge Boston, who I think is going to be on again later in the show. I think I asked him last week about the 25th Amendment situation, and he said it wouldn't be a problem. Kamala would probably just claim her D.C. residence as her primary residence now, because she can change it before the election and skirt under the 25th Amendment, which makes me say, well, what do we even have that part of the 25th Amendment for if it's that easily subverted? But here we are, because we had that discussion earlier this year with the idea of Trump maybe picking DeSantis as his running mate, and there's some 25th Amendment issues there, and then Trump could either claim his D.C. or his New York residency to get around that. So I don't think that's much of a holdup either.
Yeah, but maybe getting rid of her because of her incompetence.
Yeah, right. Look, if they don't like her, might as well let her run and burn her. Just get rid of it. Thank you very much for your call. I got time to squeeze in one more, right? Let's do Bruce. Bruce, over in Wills Point. You're on the James Show on WBAP. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, hey, how are you doing? Hey, yeah, I've been listening to this all day, and Obama's name keep coming up, but I gotta ask. I mean, other than the fact that she sets the standard for being black, she kind of sets the standard for being a woman, and she just got name recognition. She doesn't bring anything else to the table. Nothing political, nothing of anything worth value on the world scene. They're talking about putting somebody in to run this country that she's never worked. She hasn't done anything political except run her mouth standing behind her husband. So what gives her the standing to be considered in this race?
Well, I think just about all of us are qualified to be president. I almost go real far in the other direction. I mean, how many of us would be better than Joe Biden right now? So, and really, when it comes to Congress, I'd rather pick the first 435 people out of the Plano phone book to run the country than the people that are in there. But that aside, here's what she brings. She brings the name Obama and the fact that she was on the national stage for 8 years. She didn't do anything embarrassing. She speaks better than Biden or Kamala Harris ever could, and she's a winner. And that's what they're doing this for. They just want to win. This isn't about policy. This isn't about honoring the preferences of the primary voters of all the Democrat proletariat out there who went to the primaries and voted. Screw all their opinions. It's not what it's about. It's not even about the donors. It's about winning. And if she gives them the best chance of winning, they're going to rally around her super hard. And then they have the bonus. They get to pat themselves on the back. They will break their arm patting themselves on the back for getting the first female of color in the presidency.
But they won't be able to say that they really care about the country and love it, because she's not. Her standard of the United States is that we're prejudiced, we're horrible, we're
Well, they don't love the country, and we know that. And like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It's not like a big shock. No, they don't love this country. They think this is a place is racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, capitalist pigs, robber barons grinding poor people underfoot just for sport. There's cops are just executing young black men for sport with no repercussions. Of course they hate this country. I mean, I would too if I was a socialist and I believed in all that stuff. All right, 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. We'll continue with Joe Biden dropping out. Who's going to replace him next on The James Show? News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Wayne Starin, D.C. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually damage to the nerves, most often in the feet, legs, and hands.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results. Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations.
Call 469-751-8262. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 469-751-8262. That's 469-751-8262.
Hi, this is Spencer McGowan, host of Net Worth Radio. As a broadcaster, sinuses are very important because you don't want to listen to a stuffy guy. Well, both sinuses in the past year were clear all winter and all spring. Thanks to AdvancedRegeneration.com, the sinus treatments that Dr. David Slater recommended, that protocol initiated by Heather and Katrina has totally transformed my winter and spring. Allergies, sinus infection, this knocks it out. Both of my sinuses are clear. I urge you to go to AdvancedRegeneration.com, ping them right now for your appointment, or 469-708-0005. When you go to AdvancedRegeneration.com, you'll see the medical studies that back up high-intensity laser therapy make a huge difference. AdvancedRegeneration.com, 469-708-0005.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
Is chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back keeping you from doing the things you love? What if I told you you could get lasting relief from your joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime? This is Ernie Brown. It's not too good to be true. It's QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Instead of masking the symptoms, they go to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source, using healing agents from your own body to repair and restore the damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is offering free consultations at all 5 of their local clinics. So if you want to get rid of joint pain and get back to doing the things you love, call QC Kinetics right now. 469-903-4828. That's 469-903-4828. I'm talking about long-lasting relief from joint pain with no drugs and no surgery. To get started, schedule a free consultation with QC Kinetics. Just call 469-903-4828. That's 469-903-4828.
Welcome to Texas Yard Makeover, Weekend Edition. This weekend, add some beautiful native plants, including pollinators that attract hummingbirds and butterflies. Visit waterisawesome.com and pick a weekend project.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
The political reaction pouring in after a bombshell announcement from the president. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Starting to see some congestion pick up around some construction in Las Colinas. They've closed down the right lane on westbound 635 at Valley View. Expect about 5 to 10 minutes of extra commute time. We had some debris pop up in South Dallas, northbound I-45 at Central Expressway. They got it cleared out of the way, but you still have some extra congestion loosening up around Botham John. And in Kaufman County, there's about a 20 to 30 minute construction slowdown on eastbound Highway 80. They've closed down the left lane at Clements Drive. With WBAP, First Traffic and Weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast. We have a chance of storms this afternoon. Mostly cloudy, a high 87 degrees. It is 85 in Dallas and in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Reaction is pouring in regarding the decision by President Joe Biden to bow out of the 2024 presidential race. SMU political science professor Dr. Matthew Wilson says the move took many off guard.
He had sounded these notes of defiance just the day before. Even the morning of, there were all indications that he was going to bull ahead. So it was a bit of a surprise when the word came down that, in fact, he was going to pull the plug.
Wilson also says it'll be interesting to see if Vice President Kamala Harris moves seamlessly to the Democratic nomination or if others may step forward within the party to make a run. Wilson was a guest on DFW's Morning News with Clayton and Laura on our sister station, 570 KLIF. Your Money News power has been fully restored in southeast Texas.
Nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Beryl made landfall, CenterPoint Energy has finally restored power to customers in southeast Texas. On Saturday afternoon, the company stated that the only people left without power are those with too much damage for their homes to be repaired. Initially, more than 2 million customers lost power when the Category 1 storm hit the Texas coast. Many were left in the dark with no air conditioning in the extreme heat. Several people died from heat-related illnesses. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
The Dow's up 152 points, NASDAQ up 289, the S&P 500 up by 60. Again, the high today, 87. It is 85 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by On Time Experts Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Your next news update is at 3 o'clock. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024.
So there's nothing like sleeping in your own bed, right?
As much as I enjoy getting away for vacation, I think we all love coming back home and sleeping in our own bed. But tonight is the last night for guys who are on the Dallas Cowboys 90-man training camp roster that they'll be able to do that. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Team leaving for California tomorrow to begin the grind of camp. Almost everybody will be there. Almost. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to hold out, wants a contract extension, where he's scheduled to make almost $18 million this year, but wants to be paid a lot more. A lot. Like $30 million plus. And then you've got the boss, Jerry Jones. Not sure when he'll show up in Oxnard. He's in Texarkana. He's in a courtroom. Jones is in a trial against a woman who says he is her father. A jury hearing his breach of contract case against 27-year-old Alexandra Davis and her mother, Cynthia Davis, accusing them of breaching a settlement they entered more than 2 decades ago. And the Rangers start the week 5 games behind Houston and Seattle, who are tied right now for first place in the AL West standings. Texas hoping to play better over the next 4 days at home against the White Sox than they did over the weekend, where they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. That's your Monday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
This report is brought to you by Clarity Windows and Doors.
You know, high energy bills are right around the corner, so start saving today and call the great folks at Clarity Windows and Doors. What a difference they make. Right now, ask about 0% financing for 18 months. Schedule your free, no-pressure, in-home estimate today. That's ClarityWindows.com.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get the deals you need during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 20% off select Werner and Little Giant ladders, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 7/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
DFW's only FM news, talk, traffic, and weather station. News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. You know, with all the chaos going on surrounding election 2024, how is this going to affect your money? That's what a lot of us are concerned about. Is, hey, how does this affect me? My ear's fine. My son's fine. What about my money? What about your IRA? What about your 401k? What about your investments? Well, let's ask someone who does this for a living. Spencer McGowan from Net Worth Radio is back on the James Show. And so I just checked the stock market real quick on the break there. All 3 indices are in the positive. So far, Spencer McGowan, it seems like the markets are happy with what they see.
So far, so good. Further into record territory. Some of the reasons are not directly related to politics. The earnings have come in good. The company's reporting so far about a 9% gain in profits over last year. And I think most money managers are looking at that. The politics do play a part.
Well, that tells me the markets don't see that this as chaos. They don't see this as uncertainty. They see that last week looks like Trump was going to win. This week looks like Trump was going to win. Is that kind of a good take on that?
Yes, and I was surprised at the swift reaction. You know, the assassination attempt led to a conclusion, a rally, you know, which unified the Republican Party, and the Dow went straight from below 40,000 to 41,000 last week, and then it held into record territory even after a little setback. Today, wow, the S&P 500 up over 1%. So I do think that the smart people on Wall Street, even though a lot of them are masochistically democratic, the overregulation is a big issue for companies and for investors.
Well, it keeps their competition out, but yeah, it comes with the price, doesn't it? I also see the big policy change, if you don't want to just talk about personalities and how old people are for a second. It looks like Donald Trump, his administration would change things on a couple of fronts. Number one, oil and gas exploration. You know, that big energy sector can be a huge boon to the economy. Number one. Number two is letting the tax cuts expire at the end of 2025. Give me some more detail on that.
Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen. And you know, if you said, hey, I want to predict the next recession, well, that's a good place to start, because the average upper middle class family, you know, their taxes went down by nearly 20% in the tax cuts set to expire. You know, January 26, you've got higher taxes without Congress doing something. And then on the other side of that, this over-regulation, you notice the Federal Trade Commission has sued nearly every major merger, and the rules coming fast and furious put the Federal Register of Regulations at a record. That causes inflation. You can look at the graph on our website and see that. I mean, inflation, when they more than quadrupled the regulations in the 60s and 70s, well, you went from 1% to 15% inflation. Deregulation is going to be a big topic.
So the other things that are part of the political platform that could overlap with your money is there's talk of both sides accuse the other of wanting to destroy Social Security and Medicare, but then neither side really wants to when they get in office. Should anyone be concerned about that?
Well, controlling the entitlements, that's a big issue. And first comes the elimination of fraud, right? The Social Security checks that may go to dead people, right? That's a bad thing. But in the case of controlling fraud, that's kind of budget step number one, especially on the entitlement side. The other would be tightening the rules for getting disability because you're an alcoholic before age 65. You get to claim early benefits if a doctor says, yeah, he's so drunk he's disabled.
Wait a second. Can you get that if you work at Cumulus?
Well, you'd probably have to get fired for being drunk first, but in the case of...
Challenge accepted, Spencer. No.
In the case of Social Security, there is a provision for disability due to addiction, and it's used quite often. So, in other words, on the entitlement side, before you hit the third rail of saying to people, oh my God, you're going to have to work longer because people live longer, which makes perfect sense,
sure,
right?
Mathematically, yeah.
Yeah, before you hit that third rail, you've got a lot of fat to cut to control what we'll say is a disaster waiting to happen over the next 20 years.
How are y'all going to talk about this weekend on your radio show?
Well, there was a direct correlation. I mean, you look at last week, you look at this week, and I do think, let's say Wall Street accepted the news of the potential Trump second presidency. So far, so good. Record highs with distance on most equity indexes. So it is perceived as a positive, and that's more or less step one. And you've also got Elon Musk and even Silicon Valley coming out in favor of Trump because they're a little upset over the regulation and the taxes as well.
All right, Spencer, tell them how they find you outside of the James Show.
Oh, just networthradio.com, and we have that inflation graph posted. Regulation is the primary source of inflation.
All right, and the other thing I saw that I wish we had more time here, but I saw Bud Light has fallen to the number 3 beer brand. They're still taking heat from political consequences from, I guess this was about this time last year?
Yeah, yes, and you've had Tractor Supply, Deere, and Microsoft just say, that's not really working for us right now because the shareholders have rebelled. They've said, hey, you're spending huge amounts of money on this, and it doesn't seem to be helping. Boeing's a good example, too. And so the companies have said, wait a second, the pendulum is swinging back very quickly to common sense.
All right, Spencer McGowan, thanks for being on the James Show again. Appreciate your time, sir.
James Barker, great show. Thank you, sir.
Right, Spencer McGowan, Net Worth Radio, networthradio.com. All right, coming up next, I'm going to play you some of the reaction to Joe Biden stepping out of the race. And if you have your 2 cents to put in on who do you think will replace him, should replace him. And I would like to add in the question, because sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. And so if it fails, it'll still be funny. Democrats, do you think the right thing happened? Are you glad he stepped down? I mean, I'm not gonna give you a hard time like, hey, are you okay with overthrowing the primary results? I want to hear from your side. Does this give you a better chance of winning? Do you think they did the right thing? And who would you like to see replace him? Forget what all the Republicans think. Who does the Democrat think should replace Joe Biden on the ticket? 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
If you claim to stand for unity, you need to do more than just use the word. vote for Kamala.
I'm not a fan. I think Kamala has a chance to beat Trump.
Keep connected, DFW.
News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Do you want to be intimate with your loved one, but you just don't have the endurance and stamina like you used to? Well, you're not alone. ED issues and premature stamina are no longer taboo subjects, and going to Men's Edge Medical right here in Dallas is like going to any other doctor's appointment. At Men's Edge Medical, they offer real results tailored to fit your specific needs. No matter what might be causing your erectile dysfunction, they have solutions customized just for you that work. Don't be fooled by newcomer companies or trendy new treatments. Gainswave, also known as acoustic shockwave therapy, often doesn't work and may have side effects. Men's Edge Medical is local, and they've been the trusted choice in DFW for almost 20 years. Whether you're struggling with ED or premature stamina, Men's Edge Medical is here to help you reclaim your confidence and performance. No gimmicks, just real results, or your first visit is free. Call Men's Edge Medical today, 972-996-0900. 972-996-0900. Men's Edge Medical. Get your edge back today.
Caller number 1. What's your
life hack?
Yeah, if you get a flat tire, just take the air out of the other 3 tires.
I would not do that one. Okay, caller number 2. What's your
life hack?
You missed a phone payment? Just file for bankruptcy.
Ooh, no. Come on, caller number 3. What's your
life hack?
Yeah, so if you have one bedroom that's way too hot, just close the vent.
These aren't life hacks. When you close off a vent to a certain room, you're causing the air pressure to build up and work backwards. Not to mention, you're still not solving the issue. If you have one room in your house that is way too hot or way too cold, you don't have to live like that. With our advanced diagnostic tools, we will fix the airflow imbalances in your home in less than 2 hours for only $189. And if your issue's not resolved, we'll refund you your money. Call Milestone today and ask for the Milestone Room Temperature Service.
We'll fix it in a flash. Correct.
For nearly 30 years, Thomas J. Henry has fought day in and day out for every client we've had the honor of representing. In our town, in our community, we will always be the name you trust. Thomas J. Henry. Available 24/7 nights and weekends. San Antonio, Texas.
Accurate Foundation Repair has been helping your friends and neighbors since 1999. Over 47% of our gross revenues are referral business. You want your home fixed right? Call Accurate Foundation Repair. We'll give you high-quality steel piers at a price you can afford with a warranty second to none. Call Accurate Foundation Repair at 972-623-2500. That's 972-623-2500 or on the web at AccurateFoundationRepair.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair. We give you a lift for the whole lot less.
Hi there, it's Pete Thompson with a question. Is your retirement nest egg prepared for the tax bomb that is about to hit retirees in 2023? Learn more this weekend on DFW Retirement Radio, Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., right here on WBAP.
The delay's grown a bit more in Las Colinas behind some construction on westbound 635. They now have you down to just one lane between Valley View and the Bush Turnpike. Your stop and go back from Luna, that's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes of extra commute time. And we also still have about a 20-minute construction slowdown in Kaufman County. Eastbound Highway 80 has the left lane shut down at Clements Drive. Your stop and go there from East Fork Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Hi, this is Mark Spain. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free and avoid the hassle of costly repairs. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Is it wrong to delight in people that just scare the crap out of themselves for no reason? Rosie O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, these people are either they're putting on a very good facade or they have scared themselves of the possibility of Donald Trump being president again so much that it's ruining them. It is ruining their lives. I mean, look, Rosie O'Donnell politically, I disagree with her vehemently on so many of these issues, and I think she was ridiculous on The View, but I don't think she's a bad person. Her stand-up comedy's funny. I loved her in A League of Their Own and a bunch of other dumb movies she made. She's if she came and hung out, we'd probably be friends. I have a lot of friends just like her. But man, she makes herself miserable with this political stuff. So I don't wish ill on her, but I do delight a little bit. And if you're going to be this irrational, if you're going to be this susceptible to fear propaganda, well, then maybe you deserve to be a little bit miserable. Come on, get out, snap out of it, Rosie, snap out of it. And, you know, it's too late for her, but this is her now.
The whole thing is very, very unnerving. It's very unnerving. And 100 days, you know, people are saying to me, my therapist actually said to me, well, it's a long time between now and November. No, it isn't. We're about to start school again. You know how quick all of a sudden it's Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving.
So she's already pessimistic. He drops out. She doesn't think, well, now we have a better chance of winning. She just seizes on the negative. And that's not necessarily a liberal or Republican thing. My wife likes to do that. She learned that from her mother-in-law, who's probably listening. So you don't have to call or text me. I know you heard that.
Break. So by Thanksgiving break, we're going to know whether we still have democracy in the United States.
Oh, stop it. Whether or not we still have democracy. She's concerned about democracy, but she's not concerned about this dude just overturning the results from the primary process. He won 47 states, and the other 3 were deemed that he won. It's not like he even split it with anyone. Well, some dude won American Samoa, but other than that, he won every single contest. But we have to jettison those results and wipe the slate clean to save democracy. Interesting. Keep going. What happened? Oh, there it goes.
That's not a long time. It's a long time to worry every day. I could tell you that. I'm excited about the Olympics starting.
Oh,
gets me
come
excited,
on.
so I'll be cheering for that.
You sound real cheerful, Rosie.
And that's all I got today, people. Nothing big.
Listen how defeated she sounds.
Take care of yourselves. TikTok, you don't stop. Don't only watch the TV news. Don't, because it's... Listen, you can worry, and it's time's still going to go, and what's going to happen is going to happen.
Do I sound worried? You don't have to worry.
The wisdom to know the difference, the things I can control, right? Things you can't, wisdom to know the difference.
I kind of like
it's
this,
all in
Rosie.
that wisdom to know the difference.
It's like knowing Eeyore
Right?
from Winnie the Pooh.
Drive yourself crazy. You can drive yourself completely bonkers. Believe me, I know.
Believe me, I know. No,
But boy, it's scary.
It's not scary. The
Boy,
world's
is it
fine.
scary.
No, it's okay.
They're not kidding around.
I'm kidding around.
Right to an authoritarian dictatorship.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. Me and Garrett over here, we're just good old fascists. What do you think? 800-288-9227. Let's talk to Rick in Dallas. You're on WBAP. What do you think, sir?
I think we're going to get a Kamala, J.B. Pritzker candidacy. I would vote Democrat if it was a Bashir and the guy from Arizona, or Kelly, but it's not going to be them. It's going to be Kamala and Pritzker.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Kelly because I think he would be a great compliment to Kamala Harris. Not that they would take advice from me, but why do you say Jamie Pritzker? Is it J.B. Pritzker? Isn't that what it is?
JB. Yeah, it's JB. It's not going to be Kelly because Kelly's too strong and he's too smart and he has his own opinions. They need an empty suit, kind of like Kamala and Pritzker. He's a multi-billionaire. He gets you that Zionist vote.
Are you a Democrat?
I'm an independent. I'm really the kind of voter they want to draw.
Yeah, but you would be willing to vote Democrat.
I would vote Democrat if it was Bashir and Kelly.
What do you know?
I'm not voting for Kamala, and I'm not voting for Pritzker, and I'm not voting for Newsom.
Man, what do you know about Bashir? He's the Kentucky governor, right?
Yeah,
that's
Bashir's
all I know.
Great, man, Bashir's great. He's a moderate Democrat. I would say he's more fiscally conservative. I would say socially he's common sense and not the crazy anti-common sense wokeism sort of stuff. I mean, he's still going to have he's still pro-choice. He's still pro-gay marriage, but he's not about the forced gender transitions and stuff like that. We're not going to have any of that kind of nonsense. So other than that, you could expect sort of a Bill Clinton kind of economy from a Bashir.
Well, Rick, you sound amazingly moderate. Do you believe men can have babies?
It depends on who you're asking.
Yeah, see, this is my litmus test on if you're a moderate or if you're beyond moderate. If you're just, I don't want to say far left because I doubt you're a communist. But wow, Rick,
No.
you seem look. I wouldn't throw out Bashir or Pritzker because even as a talk show host, I'm not going to pretend like I know enough about the guys. Mark Kelly, at least has some name recognition and got the cool astronaut vibe, and his wife was a victim of gun violence. And it's also, you do have, if you're going to have a woman of color at the top of the ticket, you have the old white guy at the bottom of the ticket, so you can kind of mop up all the demographics.
Well, Pritzker, you get an obese Jew that's worth $4 billion. So I mean, that's like,
is that a ringing endorsement?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I would hate Pritzker. I think Pritzker's actually worst case scenario. He's probably the most vile, evil Democrat there is. Like he is the mob boss of Chicago politics.
Dang, that makes me want to know more about him. All right.
Yeah, you should, because that's who Kamala wants.
Well, congrats on your depth of knowledge. Why do you know all this stuff?
Man, those 50 intel agents that signed that stuff that weren't actually intel agents. Some people actually, know what they're talking about.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, Rick. All right. That's exactly the kind of call I was looking for. Well done, Rick. Can we give Rick 10 points? Yeah, that's not as much as Dan Snell for his prediction last week, but it's still pretty prestigious. 800-288-9227. We will continue talking about history in the making coming up. 800-288-9227. Jordan Davis is coming to the Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory August 9th. Special guests Mitchell Tenpenny and Ashley Cook. You can get tickets now at livenation.com, or it's one of these contests we have where you can text a number to our number, or you text the word our number to win. The word is Jordan. Our number is 800-288-9227. It's the same as the call-in number. Text Jordan to 800-288-9227, or you can call that same number and talk to me. I'm James Parker. It's The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Shane Mullen again with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, you want a law firm that will get you the most compensation. Recently, we reached a confidential 7-figure pre-suit settlement for a really neat client, and he saved well over $100,000 in attorney fees. Watch out for expenses, too. I don't charge any expenses for my investigators, videographer, editor, or director. Call me for a free consultation. 214-INJURED. Online, mullenandmullen.com. No recovery? No expense or fees. Been that way since '83. mullenandmullen.com.
Are you confident your retirement portfolio is protected in today's inflationary environment? Risk management against inflation has never been more important. Join Bulwark Capital's Zach Abraham for a special inflation webinar this Thursday afternoon.
With the election looming, continued global unrest, rising cost of living, and this crazy market volatility, protecting retirement portfolios has never been more critical, and it's our #1 focus.
Don't just ride out inflation. Join Zach for his live inflation webinar this Thursday afternoon.
We do it always seeking opportunities to lower risk, lower cost, and give you as much upside as possible.
Don't miss Zach's special inflation live webinar this Thursday afternoon at 5:30. Register now at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Track Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Track 24244. Go to knowyourriskradio.com.
How about this $29 service call gimmick? I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Here in North Texas, an experienced service tech costs around $35 an hour to employ. So how can a company charge $29 for a service call when it doesn't even cover their cost? It's simple. They just charge you for a bunch of unnecessary repairs. That $29 is just a ticket into your home and into your wallet. At Reliant Air Conditioning, we provide comfort to homeowners who don't want to be taken advantage of.
Our service call is $99, and our techs don't work on commission.
Right now, you can combine factory and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system that can cut your electric bill in half for as little as $98 a month. So call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Now for A Prayerful Pause, brought to you by Christian Science churches in your community. From the Christian Science Hymnal, number 148, words by Anna Waring. In heavenly love abiding, no change my heart shall fear, and safe is such confiding, for nothing changes here. The storm may roar without me, my heart may low be laid, but God is round about me, and can I be dismayed? Green pastures are before me, which yet I have not seen. Bright skies will soon be o'er me, where darkest clouds have been. My hope I cannot measure. My path in life is free. My Father has my treasure, and He will walk with me. If you like this message, call and let us know at 214-HIS-WORK, which is 214-447-9675. That's 214-HIS-WORK.
I'm Chris Grundy, host of Texas Yard Makeover Weekend Edition. A small project can improve your yard and save water too. This weekend, check your sprinkler system for leaks and set the controller to water no more than twice a week or less, depending on the weather. Better yet, try a WaterSense labeled controller. They're easy to install and program just using your phone. Visit waterisawesome.com and pick a weekend project. Little projects, big difference.
This year, resolve to take care of all of those pesky home repair projects you've been putting off in an easy, stress-free way. The Good Contractors List has fully vetted contractors for all of your home projects, from cabinets to concrete, windows to water damage. The Good Contractors List has the pro for you. And even better than that, they back all their contractors with a $10,000 guarantee. So you're not left with an unfinished project if something goes awry. Promising such a hefty guarantee means the Good Contractors List has to carefully select only the best contractors with a proven track record of solid work and great business ethics. Stop worrying that your project could go sideways and find your stress-free home contractors for every project at thegoodcontractorslist.com. That's thegoodcontractorslist.com.
I got a big show today. Get ready, it's me, Dan Bongino. If it's happening and it's big, we've got it covered. This is just unbelievable. We got to do an unfiltered show for the unfiltered show, because I'm ready to say more. Now do you see why I've been talking about this the whole time? As I said, we got great material for you today. There's so much to work with over the past few weeks. Stay tuned. Promise you're going to love it. Spread the word. You don't want to miss a single minute from the Dan Bongino Show. Tune in daily, wherever you listen.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
The growing endorsements for the vice president. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have a new crash in North Arlington on southbound 360 right at I-30. It has the right lane blocked off. Traffic stop and go back from Post and Paddock. Looks like about a 10-minute delay for now. Las Colinas still have about a 10 to 12-minute construction slowdown on westbound 635. You're down to one lane at Valley View and backed up from Luna Road. And they cleared some construction that popped up in Hutchins, northbound I-45 at Central Expressway. Still have about a 10-minute delay on winding from Wintergreen. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
It'll stay warm to hot and humid most of the week. Won't be quite as roasting as recently. A few widely scattered storms look possible the rest of the day. Highs approaching 90 degrees. Isolated storm tonight, low 73. And again, a few widely scattered gusty storms possible Tuesday. Highs around 90. Heat index levels could be in the upper 90s. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau at the Weather Channel.
85 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. After the exit of President Joe Biden from the 2024 election, Vice President Kamala Harris's support among Democrats is growing rapidly with several key endorsements. According to SMU political science professor Dr. Matthew Wilson, it shouldn't take more than a week.
Democrats are likely to have a virtual roll call before the actual convention in order to meet some state ballot deadlines. And so I think we're going to know in early August whether Kamala Harris is simply going to slide right into that nomination slot or whether there's going to be some sort of contested process.
The president endorsed Vice President Harris when he announced that he was stepping out. Vice President Harris is securing widespread support.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is throwing her support behind the vice president a day after President Biden announced he is not running for re-election. Pelosi joins a list of dozens of prominent Democrats also endorsing Harris in her campaign for president. And according to an Associated Press survey, more than 700 Democratic delegates pledged to President Biden indicate they will vote for Harris at the party's convention next month. No major Democrat has indicated a challenge to Harris, and a campaign spokesperson says the vice president raised nearly $50 million in new donations after President Biden's endorsement. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
There is bipartisan calls for Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to resign following testimony before the House Oversight Committee today about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Congressman Jamie Raskin blamed the shooting on the availability of assault weapons like the AR-15.
We've got to act on the Secret Service to protect ourselves against political violence, and we've got to act as a Congress to protect ourselves against AR-15 violence in America.
The former president was shot in the ear, narrowly escaping death. Director Cheadle has so far resisted calls to resign. Your Money News stocks climbed and clawed back some losses from their worst week since April. President Joe Biden's decision to withdraw from the presidential race could cause the unwind of some of the market's so-called Trump trade, such as the run higher for longer-term Treasury yields, but it was widely expected among investors. The Dow up 128 points, NASDAQ up 281, the S&P 500 up by 59. Again, the high today, 87. It is 85 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by the Good Contractors List. Your next news update is at 3:30. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024. WBAP salutes Ferris. Thank you, Ferris, for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, all you beautiful Texans. Welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Joe Biden has dropped out of the race. What happens next? Man, I don't know. Really. Well, we can guess. We can speculate. You're welcome to throw in your baseless speculation because that's all I got, too. 800-288-9227. But let's ask a guy who knows a little more about politics than we do. Dr. Cal Jillson's back from SMU. What do you think's going to happen next, Cal?
Well, I think that it'll resolve itself pretty quickly. More than half of elected Democrats in both the House and the Senate, more than half of Democratic governors in the country have already endorsed Harris. And as you were reporting, Nancy Pelosi has, and other leading Democrats will in short order, including Barack Obama, I think. So it's pretty well a done deal. And if someone is going to challenge her for this nomination, they have to gather signatures from 300 delegates to the Democratic National Convention, with no more than 50 from one individual state. And as I understand it, no one has begun to do that yet. The only person who talked anything about it was Joe Manchin, and he's backed off now. So it may well be that no one decides to contest the nomination because so many people, including, as you reported, 700 delegates, have already rolled in behind Harris. And Harris is their cleanest opportunity to nominate someone to replace Biden, who already controls the money and the campaign organization of the Biden-Harris ticket. So that should be Kamala Harris.
Is there going to be any issues about, Joe Biden's already got his name printed on the ballot and they can't change who the candidate is, or is that just things I'm seeing on social media?
Well, I think each of the 50 states have somewhat different rules. And I think I read in the paper this morning that in Texas, you've got until the end of August. And in most other states, it'll be somewhere a couple of weeks, one way or the other from that. And the reason that the Democratic National Committee was planning to hold a phone roll call vote in the first week of August on Biden, and will probably want to do that for Harris as well if she appears to be dominant in this process, was to get ahead of all of those state deadlines and make sure that now Harris's name would be on the ballot in all 50 states.
Yeah, because what was it, the one I was hearing about, like Ohio or something like that? They already had their primary, and I've heard through the rumor mill that the only way you can change the result of that is through an act of the state legislature. Is this just another bad rumor I'm hearing?
I'm not sure. I think it was something like August 12th or some date like that. But the governor of Ohio, DeWine, has said specifically that he's going to do everything he can to make sure that Biden and now Harris's name was on the ballot, because you can't. And Trump ran into this right when Colorado tried to take his name off the ballot. People with any sense at all realize that the major candidates have to be on the ballot if you're going to hold a presidential election. And so I think there are ways in which to get Harris's name on the ballots in all 50 states.
Do you think she gives them a better chance of beating Trump than Biden did?
Yeah, I think right now you'd have to say no, not much better. But the real question, I think, is assuming that Harris is the nominee, and I believe that she will be the nominee, how does she emerge from this period of chaos into the nomination herself, and then preparing for the convention and into the campaign? In that process, she will either be confident and smooth and move sort of systematically through that process into her campaign after the convention, or she'll stumble. And if she stumbles, a lot of the support that she seems now to have will become shaky and maybe evaporate. But if she shows some stamina and some balance, and she's getting off to a good campaign, I think there's a chance that what is now a relief rally, that Biden is out of the picture, Harris is the likely nominee, and if Harris looks steady and stable, she could build on that relief rally. But she could also stumble, so we just have to wait and see how good she is in this campaign, because historically she's not been a great campaigner.
Well, I've also been interested to see how they handle the criticism of how do you claim to save democracy when you're going to overthrow the results of your primary process. And then I think, well, in 1968, they had to do this when LBJ dropped out in like March, and they were sort of in a similar scramble. But then I think a little harder about that, Cal, and that didn't really work out too well for them.
No. Any time a political party is in upheaval and looks to be trying to deal with chaos in order to get to solid ground, the public looks at that and I'm not so sure. And that's what happened in 68. The public was already off LBJ and the Vietnam War. There was a lot of instability in the nation's cities, and people looked at LBJ and people who offered to follow him on the Democratic side and said, yeah, I'll try Nixon here. That didn't work out so well either, but certainly the Democrats were decisively beaten in 68.
Well, Democrats in plural. There was Hubert Humphrey and George Wallace, who he ran as an independent, but we all know he was a Democrat. So that was that's not a possibility we see here, though. An actual split in the Democrat Party where they try and run two different candidates. That seems to be not on the cards for this time around.
No, there's nothing that suggests that that's about to happen. Democrats know, particularly the senior elected Democrats. You think of Nancy Pelosi, very, very shrewd. Schumer, he doesn't exude the sort of dominance that Pelosi did, but he's been around for a long time. And Clyburn and people like that, they know that unless you do sort of a straight handoff to Harris, you're going to be dealing with chaos into your convention. And that means your convention cannot be a controlled presentation, best foot forward to the public the way the Republican convention was last week. So they got to get their candidate settled, get a presidential nominee, and then use the convention to present their team and its program to the American public and hope to come out of that ready to run a national campaign.
Well, we will find out soon enough. Dr. Cal Jillson, the Democrat National Convention starts 4 weeks from today. So thank you for being on the James Show and helping us wade through some of this.
All right. Good to be with you.
Cal Jillson, SMU. I want to hear from you next, 800-288-9227. Also, I have some more audio of the reaction coming up on the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Coming up Tuesday morning at 6:17, who's running the country following Joe Biden's disappearance? The latest from D.C.
And at 7:17, will there be more calls for Joe Biden to leave the White House immediately? And what did Kamala have to say in her first public appearance since he vanished?
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief meteorologist Brad Barton with your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports. And Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Tuesday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Are you dreading the idea of dental implants? There's no need to worry. We have Dr. Steve Brown of the Dental Implant Place here in the Metroplex. Dr. Brown is a pioneer in the minimally invasive technique that gives you a beautiful smile, reduces healing time, is much less painful, and in most cases costs less than other dentists in our area. Dr. Brown has placed over 12,000 implants and has trained other dentists throughout the country in this revolutionary technique. Along with a compassionate, experienced staff, the whole team at the Dental Implant Place is ready and able to help you realize your dream smile.
I want to meet with you personally. Minimally invasive techniques, all-inclusive pricing, all in one place, and compassionate care. See the difference for yourself at thedentalimplantplace.com. That's thedentalimplantplace.com. Your new smile is here.
Mention this ad and receive 15% off your total price when starting new treatment in the month of July. Financing excluded.
Spring is here, everything is blooming, and yes, that is so pretty here in North Texas, but did you know that growing tree roots could be causing those nagging drain issues? Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today and get ahead of what could be a very expensive repair. My husband and I had our plumbing checked in our home, and we couldn't be happier with our experience. Joe, the licensed plumber that was sent out, was extremely knowledgeable and knew exactly what he was talking about. And the women who own Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, they are true experts in their field, and they know that opening your home to a contractor requires plenty of trust. Right now, save $120 with their spring drain cleaning special. Call today to schedule yours for only $79. Len from Mansfield tells us, our plumber was extremely cordial and just a wonderful person to work with. My wife and I are very pleased with the service and could not be happier. I would recommend Benjamin Franklin Plumbing to anyone that asks for plumbing services. And don't forget, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is the punctual plumber, and they will pay you $5 for every minute they're late, because if there's any delay, it's you they pay. Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today at 866-4BEN-NOW. That's 866-4BEN-NOW.
Every patient at Men's Edge Medical is different, but they all have one thing in common. Their performance has diminished. Men's Edge Medical will target one of the many reasons you may be suffering and customize a solution that is suited specifically for you. Here's patient counselor Raul Garza.
Men's Edge Medical is now open on Saturday at our brand new easy-to-get-to location. Call 972-996-0900 for directions and to schedule your confidential evaluation. 972-996-0900.
Men's Edge Medical helps men change their lives every day and achieve greater intimacy with their wives. Patients always say they wish they had called sooner. Call 972-996-0900 for your confidential appointment today. 972-996-0900. 972-996-0900.
They were able to clear a crash heading into Arlington on southbound 360 at I-30, but we still have slow traffic unwinding from Carrier Green Oaks. Looks like about 10 minutes of delay remain. Mesquite, we have some new trouble southbound 635. The left lane is closed down because of high water at Gross Road. That's adding about a 15 to 20 minute delay back from Town East. And in Las Colinas, westbound 635, there's construction at Valley View up to the Bush Turnpike that has you down to just one lane. That's about a 15 minute delay from Luna Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss up to 70% off select major appliances at the Lowe's closeout event. But hurry, these deals are too good to last because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Brought to you by Bannon Tree Farm in Frisco.
Looking to buy a tree for your home or business? There's only one place, and that's Bannon Tree Farm in Frisco. They have the largest tree inventory, the most knowledgeable, friendly staff, and every tree comes with that 1-year Bannon guarantee. Go get you a tree from Bannon Tree Farm in Frisco. Visit BannonTreeFarm.com.
Thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now WBAP FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's talk about some baseless speculation. Hang on, I'll get to the phones in just a second. 800-288-9227. I am excited about talking to all of y'all. But what do you think about this conspiracy theory from the rumor mill? And yes, I'm calling it a conspiracy theory because this is just something I saw on a post where some guy is guessing, and your guess is as good as mine. And it's probably not true, but we're in a scenario, and the reason why I'm telling you it is because disprove this. You can't right now. It's just wild. But just to sort of illustrate how wild things are, is I can give you what sounds like a wicked Ocean's 14 sequel, and it doesn't. This is real life. The rumor mill is someone from the Las Vegas Metro Police Department posted online what really happened last week in Vegas. Now, as you remember, Joe Biden was at some convention, I think it's the NAACP convention or BET Awards or something in Vegas, and he had an event in the morning, but he didn't show up to his event in the afternoon. He was a half hour late, and they said, the president's delayed. He'll be here shortly. Thank you for your patience. 30 minutes later, they did the same thing. When he was late for an hour and a half, they came out and they're like, oh, he tested positive for COVID. He's got to be isolated now. And no one has seen him since. The PD, the rumor is, someone from the Las Vegas Police Department said they had a medical emergency. He had to be taken to Johns Hopkins, and he may have had a serious medical event. I don't know, heart attack, aneurysm, stroke, who knows? And he may already be dead. You know, we haven't heard from him. Okay. Look, that sounds like really far out, but disprove it. He resigned via X. He didn't resign like in person with anyone seeing him. No one's seen him live since then. Disprove it? I can't. Because the question is, when was the last time anyone saw Joe Biden? And I think for the outside world, that was that last week in Vegas before he announced that he had, air quote, tested positive for COVID. To the phones we go. Oh, look, he hung up and called back. Chris in Nacogdoches, you're on the James Show on WBAP. What do you think, sir?
How you doing, sir?
I'm well.
Good. I'll tell you what, I just think that I think the Democrats are going to select Michelle Obama because Barack Obama runs this party. And some people might disagree with me on this, but Michelle is beloved in this country. Whether you're conservative or liberal, a lot of people love Michelle Obama. And she is probably the only one that can give Trump a run for his money.
Yeah, I agree. I think if she runs, she wins. I don't think she wants to run. And that's so hard for us to fathom. But her life right now is better than being in the White House. And she knows it because she had to live in the White House for 8 years. The living conditions that she has now, far better than the residents at the White House. She doesn't have to do any press conferences. She doesn't have to answer any questions. She doesn't have to go to boring Senate meetings and cabinet meetings and joint chiefs of staffs. And, oh, someone launched a missile in the Middle East, so I got to go down to the war room and pretend I'll be all interested in this, when I could just be gallivanting around my $15 million mansion at Martha's Vineyard, my $12 million mansion in Maui, my $8 million mansion in Chicago, or my $16 million mansion in D.C. I mean, why would you trade? For us, being president would be a promotion. For her, it would be a demotion. Now, that's not to say she's not going to do it. I can just see why she wouldn't want to do it. And she doesn't go out and do political rallies, and she has the capital to do that. She she really doesn't. I get the impression she really doesn't like this country. I base that not just on her actions as an adult, but she started out. If you've ever read her thesis from Princeton, it's only 72 pages, and it's typed double space, so you can read the whole thing in like 12 minutes. She does not think highly of this country. She thinks this is a horrible, horrible place and irredeemable.
And she's beloved in this country. That's the thing about it. She's beloved.
Well, a good chunk of my friends who are Americans, never lived anywhere else, don't know how good they have it, think the same thing. If you watch TV and if you only listen to some of your college professors and your favorite musician and your favorite actors, I can see why you would come away with the idea that this place is some sort of racist, bigoted hellhole and not worth loving. It's a shame, though, because it's not true at all. Just the opposite. But yeah, I agree. Michelle Obama's probably their best chance. If they can talk her into running, she probably wins.
Absolutely.
All right. How are you listening to Nacogdoches? Our signal doesn't reach Nacogdoches.
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear on Nacogdoches.
Oh, that's so good to hear, because I'm from Bug Tussle. You know where Chapel Hill is?
I sure do.
Yeah, so the signal starts to run out there. So you must have a good antenna or something. Because I feel like I'm on the fringe out on the old Ponderosa out there. That'd be so cool if where I grew up was called the Ponderosa, but I'm sure that name's already taken. So now what do you think? 800-288-9227. And thank you, Brian, over here on Facebook, already responding to the conspiracy theory that I saw on Instagram on the last break. How would a Vegas Metro cop know that Biden had to go to Johns Hopkins? Okay, so the answer to that is if he had to block the streets on the detail to the helipad, because they're going to helicopter him out here. They're going to take a medical helicopter to Johns Hopkins. And he's on the radio, and he would hear that conversation. Outbound to Johns Hopkins, inbound from the Las Vegas Sands. I don't know. They could have done it from the helipad on top of the Mirage, or I don't even know if they have a helipad there. But I can see how there would be a way for a Vegas Metro cop to know Biden had to go to Johns Hopkins, because they're going to be providing security detail for the transportation of wherever he was at to him getting the heck out of there. And if he did get out of there, whether it was plane or helicopter, a lot of the times the chatter includes the destination. I think. That's a good question, though. I appreciate you being critical thinking there. And then Dixie says, isn't a resignation tweet, this is also from Facebook, isn't a resignation tweet from an incumbent candidate the equivalent of breaking up with a longtime girlfriend, boyfriend by sticky note? No, I think it's about the same as breaking up with a longtime boyfriend and girlfriend by Facebook instant message. That's the metaphor I think is probably closest. That is kind of insulting. Why did he just send out like a tweet? You can't tell us face to face, or at least on a live video. You can't just interrupt programming, or I don't know, pre-record a video and send it out. Something, right? That was like the lamest breakup. It kind of hurts my feelings if I had feelings. All right, I'll talk to you again next. Who do you think it's going to be? 800-288-9227. And we got to play Dead or Alive for 2 tickets to see Tucker Carlson and Roseanne Barr next on The James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent, urgent need to urinate or a weak flow? Do you suffer from an enlarged prostate or BPH? Know your options. If BPH medications are bothering you, or you're worried about invasive surgery, ask about the UroLift system. The UroLift system is an outpatient, minimally invasive procedure. It reopens the channel with no cutting and provides rapid symptom relief with no new, sustained erectile or ejaculatory dysfunction, as shown in a clinical study. Go to urolift.com and click on Find a Physician for a doctor near you. Urolift.com. UROLIFT.com. Most common side effects are temporary and can include discomfort when urinating, urgency, inability to control the urge, pelvic pain, and some blood in the urine. Rare side effects, including bleeding and infection, may lead to a serious outcome and may require intervention. If you suffer from symptoms of an enlarged prostate or BPH, the UroLift system is a proven alternative to BPH medication or invasive surgery. Visit urolift.com and click on Find a Physician to speak to a doctor to see if you're a candidate for the UroLift system.
Honey, what are you doing?
The garage door only shuts if you sprint and hurdle over the sensor perfectly.
This isn't a track and field event. We need Wellborn Garage. They'll replace our garage door opener same day, and scheduling is easy at callwellborngarage.com.
You're right. Calling Wellborn's better than me pulling a hamstring.
Open the door.
After you've been injured in a serious car crash or truck wreck, you deserve more than some lowball offer from the insurance company. The Wilhite Law Firm is committed to helping you win what you deserve, a Texas-sized settlement. The Wilhite Law Firm was awarded Best Law Firm in 2023, and you deserve nothing less. Get your free case review at wilhitewins.com. That's wilhitewins.com. wilhitewins.com. Don't delay. Click today.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Hey, North Texas, it's back. Summer is here with a vengeance, and with it comes the wild, wet, dry, dusty, great outdoors, which your home needs to keep in the great outdoors. Hi, I'm Brad Barton, and to do that, your best line of defense is Clarity Windows and Doors. Their team of professionals will show you how to raise your in-home comfort level while lowering your energy bills, and that's month after month for as long as you own your home. Clarity can create a master plan that best fits your home and budget with low-interest financing available, and right now, all Clarity's windows and doors are 20% off, but only through the month of July. Remember, there's still plenty of summer left to go, so get in touch with Clarity today. Call 1-888-458-3630 and keep the wild, wet, dry, dusty, great outdoors outside where it belongs. Timeless beauty and savings are yours this summer with Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Hello, Patriots. Have you got rotten egg-smelling water? Who can stand it? That's hydrogen sulfide. Nations Pure has the solution that makes that stink go away. And we mean right now. Gone. In fact, we money-back guarantee that the H2S smell is gone before we leave your driveway. But stinky water isn't the only chemistry going on in many well waters. We do it all, including addressing the safety and purity of your water. And we don't leave out that white chalky stuff you see on your faucets, fixtures, bathroom walls, and places too numerous to mention. Wonderful water all begins with a free, yes free, on-site water test. My name is Cara, and I will personally schedule your water test. Call Nations Pure at 888-763-0050. That's 888-763-0050. Or go online to nationspure.com and let's talk about your water solutions.
Brought to you by the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
North Texas Democrats publicly supporting the vice president. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
There's a new crash in Dallas on eastbound 175 at Haymarket. It's blocking the right lane. Traffic starting to stack up back at Masters Drive. Give yourself about 5 to 10 extra minutes for now. And there's a couple of 15-minute delays on 635. Southbound, you have high water in the left lane at Gross Road. That's got you stop and go from Town East Boulevard. And westbound 635 in Las Colinas, you're down to one lane because of construction at Valley View. That's causing a jam from Luna Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
A WBAP forecast, chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, mostly cloudy, a high 87 degrees. It is 84 in Dallas, 87 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Structured Foundation Repairs. Dallas County Judge Clay Lewis Jenkins convened area Democrats on a call today to throw unfettered support behind Vice President Kamala Harris becoming the Democratic Party's presidential nominee.
VP Harris is not only the wise choice, she's the best choice. She is exactly what we need at this time.
Area Democrats, including chairman of the Democratic Party in Dallas County, Cardell Coleman, threw support behind Harris, calling her President Harris in the meeting. Harris must still be formally chosen as the party's presidential candidate at the Democratic National Convention, which begins August 19th in Chicago. Your Money News, the shuttered Alamo Drafthouse movie theaters in North Texas are all reopening next month.
Earlier this summer, all 5 locations closed after the franchise owner filed for bankruptcy. Sony Pictures then stepped in and bought all of the DFW Alamo Drafthouse theaters and are planning on opening them next month. The Richardson location will be the first to open on August 19th. Lake Highlands will follow on the 13th. The Cedars is opening 3 days later on August 16th. The Denton location is planning on reopening on the 20th. Las Colinas will be open 3 days later on August 23rd. Alamo Drafthouse stated that they will make up for the lost wages of employees who have been out of work since the theaters closed. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
The Dow closing up 128 points, NASDAQ up 281, the S&P 500 up by 59. Again, the high today around 87. It is 84 in Dallas, 87 in Fort Worth. Your next news update is at 4 o'clock. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024.
Covering sports here in North Texas, there's never a dull moment. Never a time where we don't have something to talk about. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. So we had the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Arlington last week. And now the spotlight shifts to Southern California. Start a training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. First practice on Thursday. And a preseason game a month from now when the Cowboys host the LA Chargers at AT&T Stadium, which was supposed to be the site of the former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson and Jake Paul in an exhibition Tyson had to reschedule. The 60-year-old had some health problems. I mean, come on, he's 60 years old. But Paul went ahead and stepped into the ring in a fight this weekend in Tampa, Florida, where he beat bare-knuckle brawler Mike Perry by TKO. And then he said, "Mike, I love you, but this is my sport now. You're a legend, but I'm going to take your throne, brother." Now, the fight's still on for Friday, November the 15th, inside Jerry's World. And then a few days later, Monday Night Football will be at AT&T Stadium. Dallas Cowboys hosting the Houston Texans. That could turn out to be a huge game. Like I said, there's never a dull moment covering sports here in DFW. That's your Monday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
If you think you need to speed, keep in mind that officers are out in force this month, reminding drivers to slow down or pay up. It's called Operation Slowdown. Speeding can cost you time, money, and hassle. It's just not worth it. A message from TxDOT.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
Keeping you connected 24/7 DFW. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let me clear up the story. This is from the rumor mill. And listen, I welcome what will later be called conspiracy theories, but right now these are just hypotheses, and I'm not going to shoot you down to call you stupid or say you're insane for believing in something so dumb. We don't do that until we know the questions or the answers. There's a limited number of dumb questions, unless it's obviously been refuted. I'm not going to give you a hard time. But the latest conspiracy possible is, I saw this on Instagram. A guy got a lead on a story from a Las Vegas Metro cop. And so we were talking about that in the last segment. And the last comment here from Brian says, John Hopkins is in Baltimore. He wouldn't take a helo from Las Vegas. If there was a medical emergency, he would have to maybe take into LA, but that is an hour by helicopter. The Vegas cop post is BS. Okay, well, there wasn't a helicopter. It was medevac. Medevac was the word used. They didn't specify a helicopter. Let me just read a chunk of this post. Got a call from a source close to the Las Vegas Metro. The official story was that Joe Biden's trip was cut short last week due to COVID. However, according to this source, U.S. Secret Service informed Las Vegas Metro that there was an emergency situation involving Joe Biden and to close necessary streets so that POTUS could be transported immediately to University Medical, which they began to do in earnest. Then mysteriously, there was a stand-down order, and the U.S. Secret Service informed local Vegas PD that they were going to medevac POTUS to Johns Hopkins, which they presumed meant fly him back east ASAP. Apparently, the rumor mill in the police department was that Joe Biden was dying or possibly already dead. And this is the kind of stuff that gets fueled by not seeing him since this happened. He hasn't done anything live in the public eye since that happened. So that might not be true. It might be true. But in the meantime, it just raises some more questions. And Look, I have friends. I'm not afraid to say that some of my friends are throwing around the idea that there might have been a second shooter, or that some of the details here aren't adding up and there's no way he could have acted alone, or the Secret Service may have pushed him in that direction. And then that's on Team Red. On Team Blue, the conspiracy theory rumor mill that I keep seeing from a lot of my friends is what was borne out by this poll that came out last week on Newsweek. They go over a poll that shows 1 in 3 Biden supporters think the Trump shooting might have been staged. It's kind of a bold claim, don't you think? So we got conspiracy theories on both sides. I am hesitant to even call them conspiracy theories because so many things that have been called conspiracy theory in about the last 4.5 years turned out to be true. So until we get more info, you're welcome to call in and add. Either shoot down the theories that are out there now or add more craziness to the conversation. 800-288-9227. But right now you need to call in if you want to play Dead or Alive. Call in 800-288-9227. Why do you want to play Dead or Alive? We're giving away 2 tickets to the Tucker Carlson live tour. Special guest Roseanne Barr is going to be with him. That's going to be a fun time. Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. It's happening on September 24th. Tickets are on sale now at tuckercarlson.com. But if you call in right now, the only thing you got to do, I'm going to give you a list of 10 celebrities. It's a 50-50 shot. You have to guess if they're dead or alive. It's that easy. So 800-288-9227. And look, you may think Tucker Carlson at Dickies Arena, that doesn't sound like a good time. What the heck? What would he even do there? What's he going to do? A TV show? Is he going to record a podcast? I know it doesn't sound like it'd be like an entertainment, venue. There's not any choreography. He's not going to do a drum solo. No one's going to juggle tennis balls or anything like that. But I just went and saw Jordan Peterson there a few months ago, like 3 months ago. And you're an adult. You can just sit there and watch a person stand still on a stage and be entertained solely by the ideas that are coming from their head. It's a very grown, it's kind of what you do as you mature and you get past like the rock band concert. You know how you used to like a rock concert, standing, sweaty, hot, super loud, everyone's screaming, having a good time, you're getting drinks spilled on you. Now that sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, this replaces that. This sounds like a nightmare to the 20-year-old version of you, but the more mature version of you would love this. So with that, let's ask that Mr. Jovi guy to hit the theme. We're playing Dead or Alive. Thank you, Mr. Jovi. Welcome. This is now officially Dead or Alive territory. Let's start with Lisa. Lisa in Arlington, you're my first contestant on Dead or Alive. You ready?
I guess I am. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, let me turn you up just a tad. First one.
Okay.
Exercise guru Richard Simmons, dead or alive?
Oh, that poor man just passed away, which is bad.
Yeah, he just died like a week ago. Shannon Doherty, Brenda from 90210, and she was on Charmed as well. Dead or alive?
I believe she overdosed and passed away.
Yeah, I think it was cancer. Give her a little credit there. God, Lisa, you went so dark on us there. Carol Burnett, dead or alive? You a Carol Burnett friend?
Yes, and she's gone, I think.
Do you know or do you think?
I'm not sure. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm gonna put you on hold. Maybe we can cycle back to you. She is still alive. Carol Burnett, 91 years old, still with us. Born in San Antonio, by the way, so she's sort of a Texan. My next contestant, let's go to Ruth. Ruth in Corsicana, you're on Dead or Alive. You ready?
I am ready.
Country singer Linda Ronstadt, dead or alive?
She's alive.
She is alive. Former Cowboys running back Calvin Hill from the 70s, dead or alive?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to have to say he's dead.
No, he's still alive. And he was on he was on a previous episode. I kind of like recycling these. For you people who pay attention, you get a little bonus action. Kelly and Azel, you're on Dead or Alive. You ready?
Yes.
Not David Cassidy, but the other one, Sean Cassidy. Is he dead or alive?
Dead.
He's alive. No one wants to win. Don in Little Elm, you're on Dead or Alive. You ready?
Yes, sir.
You remember those annoying commercials that used to come on around 1990 where it was Miss Cleo? Call me now for your free reading. Is Miss Cleo dead or alive?
Dead.
She is dead. That's a random piece of nostalgia. The guy's name is Jonathan Kwan. You know him as the little Asian kid from Goonies or Temple of Doom. He was also the guy riding around with that in that minecart with Indiana Jones. Same kid. Is he dead or alive?
He's alive.
He is alive. The mom from Growing Pains. The actress's name is Joanna Kearns. Is she dead or alive?
Ooh. I believe she's still alive.
She is still alive. And then also from 90210 and probably better known from the Noxzema commercials, Rebecca Gayhart. Is she dead or alive?
I'm out with no, I think she's passed away.
No. Dang, man, he was the last one away. And we did. Because that's where we started. Didn't we start with Lisa? Yeah, Lisa in Arlington. You just de facto won on Dead or Alive. All right. I know. The guy missed the 10th one, so it goes to Rebecca. I'm looking at Rebecca Gayhart here. It goes to Lisa in Arlington. Thank you very much, Lisa. Do not hang up. I'm going to put you on hold, and then Garrett's going to get your information. You're going to get 2 tickets to the Tucker Carlson live tour with special guest Roseanne Barr at the Dickies Arena September 24th. The rest of us plebeian masses have to go get our tickets at tuckercarlson.com. More on President Biden stepping down from election 2024 when we return. It's the James Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
President Biden drops out of the 2024 race. Who will step up? Vice President Kamala Harris or someone else? Keep connected, DFW, and hear history in the making. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
When I saw the aggressive letter from the IRS, the panic started. $87,000, where will I come up with that? I couldn't afford the taxes in the first place. This will destroy me. These are things we commonly hear from our clients. Hi, I'm Dallas tax attorney Nick Namath with the law offices of Nick Namath. When the IRS comes after you, it can be devastating. We also hear the IRS put a lien on my house, took my paycheck, froze my bank account, said I was going to jail. If you're facing IRS wage levies, tax liens, unfiled returns, or past due taxes owed, the last thing you want to do is face the IRS alone. For over 20 years, I've been helping individuals and businesses in Texas stand up to the IRS and sometimes even drastically reduce what's owed. You deserve the help of an experienced local tax attorney, not some out-of-town, non-attorney tax resolution firm. Call Nick Namath, the DFW tax attorney, for a free confidential consultation at 972-484-0TAX or go to myirsteam.com.
In the wake of the recent storms, the residential metal roofing professionals at Mueller Inc. stand with the neighbors as we begin to rebuild together. Hi, everybody. Hal J. here. Before you replace the roof on your home, be sure to consider all of your options, especially those that can help prevent roof damage in the future. Residential metal roofing from Mueller offers outstanding protection against Mother Nature. When installed to specifications, their roofing is designed to withstand winds up to an excess of 100 miles per hour. Plus, Mueller offers a wide selection of colors to give you the beautiful look you want for your home. When you choose Mueller, they will be with you every step of the way, from design to manufacturing to delivery. And they back the products with limited warranties of up to 30 years and over 85 years of experience. Call 877-2-MUELLER or online at MUELLERINC, MuellerInc.com. Be sure to tell them Hal J. said to call.
A secure retirement just doesn't happen by accident. When that day comes, what's most important to you? Are you sure to have more money than month? What about unexpected medical costs? Do you want to leave something to the kids or the grandkids? I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know we specialize in these questions and can help make your retirement dream a reality with some of the highest guarantees in the business. Imagine getting up to a guaranteed 12% growth on your retirement income and up to a 30% bonus up front just for opening an account. If you have funds sitting idle in an old 401k or IRA, consider guaranteeing it to secure the peace of mind you deserve. Don't leave your financial security to chance. Take advantage of the highest guarantees I've seen in my career. Call Trajan today at 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500. Or visit us online at TrajanWealth.com.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
We have a new crash on your way out of downtown Dallas, southbound I-45 at Botham Jean. It's been moved over to the left shoulder, but you still have some extra congestion from around I-30. 175 eastbound at Haymarket, there's a crash in the right lane. That's causing a stop-and-go slowdown from Masters Drive. Still have that high water closing down the left lane of southbound 635 at Gross Road. That's about a 10 to 15 minute delay from Town East. And in Las Colinas, there's construction on westbound 635. You're down to one lane approaching the Bush Turnpike. Give yourself about 15 extra minutes from Luna. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Retirement Planners of America.
Retired or retiring soon? Call Retirement Planners of America now for a free, no-obligation consultation. 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426. Call now. 469-331-2426.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Thank you for all the people commenting on wherever you're commenting. I get some on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, or some people actually send the old-fashioned way, james@wbap.com. But here it is in 2024. Look, that was new technology in like 1996. Like, oh my God, you got an email? That's amazing. You're on top of it. Now it feels like when someone sends me an email, what are we doing? Are we banging rocks together? Is that what we're going to do? Do I have to like paint an antelope on the wall of our cave? Is that what's up? Is that what we're doing now? 800-288-9227. I don't mind getting them. I'm just being a butthead. But let's go check up on some of our friends. Some of our friends aren't handling this too well. We played you Rosie O'Donnell earlier. I think the other one that we're going to giggle at here is Rachel Maddow. Now, Rachel Maddow, Biden dropping out. The definition of a hack is whenever something happens, it means everything's great for your party and the other party is Nazis, or it's terrible for the other party. You have the inability to admit your own flaws. That's what makes you a hack. And you can identify a hack when there's an argument between like Team Red and Team Blue, and they're always choosing the same team, no matter what the issue is, no matter what the day is, no matter who the people are. They are just 100% committed. They don't need to know any facts. They don't need to know any details or historic precedent or fact checking. They're just hacks. And so Rachel Maddow, she's not dumb. Like, I think Joy Reid is dumb. I think Kamala Harris is below average intelligence. Rachel Maddow's fascinating to me because I know she's not. But listen to how she is trying to rationalize in her own head the cognitive dissonance about the surroundings of Joe Biden dropping out of the race. They broke into special coverage yesterday, just like we did here on WBAP. Hey, some of these people that are listening right now, we were hanging out last night talking about this from 9 to midnight. But this was from Rachel Maddow's special coverage on MSNBC. Someone needs to check on her because listen.
President Joe Biden making American history with an act of profound political and personal sacrifice.
Oh, my God. What did he sacrifice? He's been the most selfish person in presidential history over the last 4 years. He was too daffy to be president in 2020. It was amazingly egotistical and self-centered that he lasted this long. And your takeaway from it is what a glorious sacrifice this guy has made? No, this guy knows he's slipping. He knows he can't remember stuff. He knows he's been embarrassing himself, and they've been making parody songs about him, and he's been the object of ridicule. He knows he's not the same, and he was doing it anyway. And why was he doing it? Because that's what's good for the country? Come on, Rachel. Come on, Rachel. He waited till after the primaries so all the voters in the Democrat primary would get screwed. That's the glorious, heroic, selfless description he gets. Interesting. She continues.
3.5 years into his presidency, President Joe Biden stepping down from his re-election bid in favor of his Vice President Kamala Harris. I've been processing this for 5 hours already, and it still gives me chills to say it. In the instant he announced it at 1:46 p.m.
Hang on a second. I don't know how long you've been listening to the James Show, but from here on out, listen for the next 20 years. Nothing gives me chills when it comes to like political decisions. You are a hyper emotional nerd. If that gives you chills, like when Chris Matthews had heard the Obama speech at the Democrat National Convention, he's like, I feel a thrill going up my leg. If you ever feel a thrill going up your leg for a politician's speech, you need to step back and reevaluate where you're at. For one thing, just please replace that with an inherent skepticism of all politicians of all stripes on all teams. But secondly, just your excitement, you're getting a chill. Stop. I don't believe her. I don't believe her.
This afternoon, everything changed. Everything changed.
No, it didn't.
The Democratic Party instantly ends its internal war, this emotional, intense, harrowing fight that has torn the party apart for the past 3.5 weeks. That is over.
Lie. Really? Who's their candidate? I mean, we think it's Kamala, but if there was unity in the party, the second he stepped down, they would name their replacement, so we wouldn't have to go through this little chaotic moment. They are ticking people off right now. They are turning voters away. They are leaving the big money donors in the lurch about, should we give money? I don't know. Who's it going to be? We don't know. You wouldn't interrupt the donors. You wouldn't interrupt the fundraisers. You wouldn't interrupt the events and not have a candidate floating if there was party unity. No, they're in an internecine battle right now. Just the opposite of what Rachel Maddow sees. Oh, we're all unified now. Really? You don't even have a candidate. That's hilarious. The guy that that won all 50 state primaries and caucuses, y'all just threw out. You had unity, or you had closer to unity than this. All right, we continue with Rachel Maddow.
Instant. The expectation among Democrats, which was being voiced more and more openly in recent days, the expectation that the Democratic Party was in for a historic wipeout in November, with not just the White House in danger, but the House and the Senate in danger as well. That expectation evaporates also in an instant.
She can't know that. She hasn't seen a poll on if the polls changed. That's wiped out. The last poll we saw had all these other challengers doing worse than Trump. This may have put them further away from winning in November. She's just coming out and telling you, whatever happens, well, I guess this means the Democrats are awesome and the Republicans are stupid. We got it. We got it. But we heard the shakiness in your voice. You're not overjoyed. This isn't a selfless act that you find heroic. You're shaking in your boots. We get it. You were just telling us 2 weeks ago about right-wing death squads. You're going to be taking you all out for sport just for fun. Now you're saying, oh, isn't it a great, shiny, sunny day? Oh, yeah, Mom, this broccoli casserole sure is good. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. Jordan Davis comes to the Pavilion at Music Factory August 9th. Special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Ashley Cook. Get tickets now at livenation.com or text Jordan to our same phone number, 800-288-9227. You want to win tickets, a chance to win tickets to see Jordan Davis, Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory August 9th. Text Jordan to 800-288-9227. Historian and attorney Talmadge Boston coming up next on The James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
Hey, Uline,
They know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You've heard me talk about the utility program that allows us to offer instant rebates of up to $2,400 for replacing your AC system, right? Well, over 95% of those utility funds have been claimed, so that means only 50 more people will be able to take advantage before the funds run out. And remember, when you combine that with the current factory rebates, you're saving over $5,000 on a brand new Reliant air conditioning system that can cut your electric bill in half for as little as $98 a month. You may have heard about nationwide AC unit shortages, but we have plenty of equipment. And if you call by noon, we can install the system the very next day. That's right, call by noon and have your new system installed the next day. Call us at 877-YOUR-HERO or schedule your free estimate online at ReliantAirConditioning.com, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83.
Are you confident your retirement portfolio is protected in today's inflationary environment? Risk management against inflation has never been more important. Join Bulwark Capital's Zach Abraham for a special inflation webinar this Thursday afternoon.
With the election looming, continued global unrest, rising cost of living, and this crazy market volatility, protecting retirement portfolios has never been more critical, and it's our #1 focus.
Don't just ride out inflation. Join Zach for his live inflation webinar this Thursday afternoon.
We do it always seeking opportunities to lower risk, lower cost, and give you as much upside as possible.
Don't miss Zach's special inflation live webinar this Thursday afternoon at 5:30. Register now at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Track Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Track 24244. Go to knowyourriskradio.com.
Do you or someone you know have foundation issues? Call Accurate Foundation Repair, 972-623-2500. We've been serving the DFW Metroplex over 25 years with over 20,000 satisfied customers. Accurate offers you a true lifetime transferable warranty backed by a third-party insurance company. Call now and receive a $500 discount on your foundation repair. Call 972-623-2500 or on the web at AccurateFoundationRepair.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair. We give you a lift for the whole lot less.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus media station.
Trending now.
A bipartisan call for the Secret Service director to resign. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
175 eastbound at Haymarket, the right lane taken away. That's still heavy. Also, I-45 southbound at Lamar. You've got one off to the left shoulder, but it's sluggish there. Back to I-30. 75 southbound at Parker Road. The two right lanes are blocked off. That back up to Spring Creek Parkway. And 635 westbound from Valley View to the Bush Turnpike in Las Colinas. Only one lane gets by for construction there. WBAP's first traffic on the ones. I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
I'm WFA meteorologist Kyle Roberts. Most of the days this week will feature rain chances, but none of those days will be an all-day rain or a washout or anything like that. Tonight it's a low of 73, then 91 tomorrow and a partly sunny skies. Wednesday's a high of 90 with a 20% coverage of showers and storms. 20% coverage again on Thursday with a high of 91. 91 on Thursday with 30% coverage, and some scattered rain this weekend with highs in the low 90s.
We have some showers and thunderstorms moving through the Dallas area, as well as just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Flash flooding is underway way south of the Metroplex, like a little bit north of the Waco area. Currently 83 in Dallas, 86 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. There are bipartisan calls for a change at the top of the Secret Service. Testifying in front of the House Oversight Committee following the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle got into several exchanges, including with Congressman Gerald Connolly, over whether a lack of gun regulation has made the Secret Service's job more difficult.
I understand the Second Amendment rights of individuals.
I didn't ask that question. I'm not questioning the Second Amendment. I'm asking a simple analysis, Director Cheadle. And I can tell you, you're not making my job easier in terms of assessing your qualification for continuing on as director.
Cheadle said that on July 13th, we failed, meaning the Secret Service. Former President Donald Trump was shot in the ear, narrowly escaping death. Following the appearance of Cheadle on Capitol Hill today, lawmakers are weighing in. Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne says Cheadle's unwillingness to answer questions was frustrating.
When you start looking at the incompetence, the lies, the stonewalling, and there's obviously been gross negligence that has been allowed to happen, and I don't hold the agents who are on the ground responsible for it. I hold leadership responsible for it.
The North Texas Republican believes a special congressional committee should be assembled to investigate the leadership of the Secret Service. Today is the first full day for Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign.
Speaking publicly for the first time since President Biden ended his re-election bid, Vice President Kamala Harris said the president has done more in one term than most do in two.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
Harris spoke on the White House South Lawn at an event honoring NCAA championship teams. She has already secured the endorsement of President Biden and dozens of prominent Democrats to replace the president as her party's nominee. Harris is heading to Wilmington, Delaware to meet her new campaign staff. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Your money news: the Environmental Protection Agency is awarding $4.3 billion in grants to fund projects in 30 states to reduce climate pollution. EPA Administrator Michael Regan and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro announced the grant recipients in Pittsburgh today. Regan says the funds will be delivered this fall. The Dow closing up 128 points, NASDAQ up 281, the S&P 500 up by 59. Again, the low tonight, 73. It is 83 in Dallas, 86 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Reliant Air Conditioning. Your next news update is at 4:30. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Welcome back to the big show. Well, we're just stumbling through history together, aren't we? You've never seen so many things that have happened in this presidential election cycle, and now you can add another one to the list. This is the first time we had a former president running for a non-consecutive term in our lifetime. This is the first time neither primary process mattered. This is the first time they had a presidential debate before the conventions. You can name about 6 or 7 other things, but now we're talking about. I can't believe that this knocked the bullet, the assassination attempt off the headlines. But this is the next big step in the weirdest presidential election of your lifetime. Talmadge Boston is back on the James Show. Welcome back, sir. First things first, and a possible question: who is going to replace him?
Who's going to replace Joe Biden? The answer is Kamala Harris. Everything is falling into line for her, from the party leaders of all 50 states to the big donors are falling in place. The low-dollar donors are filling up the online donations, and in a little over 24 hours, she's raised over $100 million. So all the spigots that had turned off are now turned on full blast. No one has come out to say that they're going to challenge her to be the successor nominee. So she's got it, and I don't foresee that that's going to change. I think it's all going to be buttoned up well before the Democratic convention to make it a very smoothly run convention like the Republicans was last week, with everybody singing her praises the same way the Republicans sang Trump's praises.
Is there any way that they could look at the polls that are coming? Because they're running polls right now as fast as they can. They're trying to get this info back. Is there any way that someone, if they show up significantly better than Kamala in the polls, they could try and shoehorn them in the spot instead?
I can't imagine that happening. I don't think anybody at this stage is going to poll higher. You know, she is the vice president. She is a woman. She's a person of color. She's young, 59 compared to Biden's 81.5, compared to Trump's 78.5. She's got obviously strong African-American and minority support. That's always been a critical part of the Democratic base. So I don't think she's going to lose her momentum at all.
What about the efforts, Talmadge, to make the case that if Joe Biden's not fit to run, then he's not fit to continue the last 6 months of his presidency? You think the Republicans are going to get anywhere with that?
No. Biden, whenever he speaks later this week, when he gets over COVID, is going to say something about why he chose to back out, but he's not going to acknowledge a lack of mental acuity. He'll just come up with some statement that doesn't make any sense or doesn't have any meaning, but basically he stepped down because all the insiders said, you're going to lose badly. All the donations are gone, and your legacy is going to be ruined forever. Your chances of getting strong financial support for your presidential library are going to be gone. And finally, somebody even as stubborn as Joe Biden had to accept all that reality, and that's what will cause him to drop out yesterday. And who knows what he'll say, but that was the reason. He's never going to acknowledge that he didn't have the smarts to serve for 4 more years, even though everybody else knew that. So for Harris and all of them to act like he acted so selflessly and heroically and all, it's nonsense. I mean, he should have stepped down years ago. I mean, he hasn't had the mental acuity for a long time. And after that disastrous debate, which he refused to even watch to see how horrible he was, he still kept hanging in there. And the Democrats lost 3 weeks of time. They could have been moving toward Harris and getting all this played out that much better. So he wasted everybody's 3 weeks before he recognized the obvious. He's going to have a very mixed legacy. I mean, Democrats will keep spinning and treating him like he's some kind of a hero. I heard Kamala Harris say he's about one of the greatest presidents in history, which is total nonsense. She's obviously ignoring Afghanistan, ignoring runaway inflation, lower real wages, ignoring the border disaster, ignoring that the world is a much more dangerous place than it was before. So they can spin this stuff all they want to make like he's the great hero in support of now helping Kamala Harris's campaign. But at least most people will be able to see this for what it is. It's just a ridiculous spin that apparently some people, they think at least some people are willing to believe.
Yeah, I guess you must have heard the segment before where Rachel Maddow said this is the most selfless act. This is just for the good of the country. No one's buying that.
It's absurd. I mean, you know,
it's like the opposite of the truth, right?
Yeah, this is what you call insulting people's intelligence, as if people don't know why he stepped down. When Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and Chuck Schumer are all working aggressively 24 hours a day to get all of their supporters to line up behind getting him off the ticket, to act like this was a selfless, heroic decision is total nonsense.
Oh, yeah. So noble, Talmadge Boston. Isn't that so fitting? All right. Tell them how they can find you outside of the James Show on WBAP, Mr. Boston.
Well, How the Best Did It, Leadership Lessons from Our Top Presidents, came out in April. You can find it on Amazon or in Terabang Books here in Dallas. You can find my website, talmadgeboston.com, where my Dallas Morning News op-ed pieces, most of which are about presidential politics and presidential history, can be found. And I'm a lawyer in town with the Shackelford firm. You can find me on the internet very easily. And doing so much of this fun commentary, James, with you and others at WBAP, and I'm pretty easy to find.
All right, Talmadge Boston, you're a great addition to the show. I appreciate your time, sir.
You bet.
Talmadge Boston, Go find him online. Look, I think he's going to be on the list of books I got to read. I love that presidential historian stuff. When we get back, I'm going to talk to you next. I got a couple guys lined up. Jake, John, I see you. If you want to get in line, 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. I want to talk to you about what the heck is going on now that Joe Biden's out of the race. It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Joe Biden saw the handwriting on the wall. He steps aside, forcing Democrats to decide who should run against Donald Trump. What happens next happens here. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Honey, what are you doing?
The garage door only shuts if you sprint and hurdle over the sensor perfectly.
This isn't a track and field event. We need Wellborn Garage. They'll replace our garage door opener same day, and scheduling is easy at callwellborngarage.com.
You're right. Calling Wellborn's better than me pulling a hamstring.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
We're here at Genesis of Plano, part of the Huffines Auto family, for their 100th year of serving DFW and asking customers to sing the Huffines jingle. Today's guest, Abigail.
Huffines has it.
So, what was the it for you?
Time is very precious to me. The whole experience was quick and easy.
And when you visit Genesis of Plano, get low APR financing on new G70s and award-winning customer service. Start at genesisofplano.com. Let's cue the jingle.
Caller number 1. What's your
life hack? Yeah, if you get a flat tire, just take the air out of the other 3 tires.
I would not do that one. Okay, caller number 2. What's your
life hack? You missed a phone payment? Just file for bankruptcy.
Ooh, no. Come on, caller number 3. What's your
life hack?
Yeah, so if you have one bedroom that's way too hot, just close the vent.
These aren't life hacks. When you close off a vent to a certain room, you're causing the air pressure to build up and work backwards. Not to mention, you're still not solving the issue. If you have one room in your house that is way too hot or way too cold, you don't have to live like that. With our advanced diagnostic tools, we will fix the airflow imbalances in your home in less than 2 hours for only $189. And if your issue's not resolved, we'll refund you your money. Call Milestone today and ask for the Milestone Room Temperature Service.
We'll fix it in a flash.
Correct.
You're ready for a new luxury bathroom, but worried about cost and downtime. Well, worry be gone. Get your new luxury bath fast and at big savings during Statewide Remodeling 60-60-60 sale. For 30 years, Statewide has been the expert at creating the perfect bathroom at a price you can afford. Statewide proudly features luxury Kohler products that transform your bathroom from dated to dazzling in as little as 1 day. The time to update is now during the statewide 60-60-60 sale. Get 60% off installation on new bath or showers, 60-month low financing, and a $60 Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate whether you buy or not. Plus, get a $200 Visa gift card with purchase just by mentioning me, Ernie Brown. Hire the team I recommend for the stunning bathroom you desire. Visit statewide-remodeling.com now to schedule your estimate and get all the details. Go to statewide-remodeling.com today during Statewide 60-60-60 sale.
Casey Bartholomew here. News sources are reporting home prices are expected to drop going into 2025, so now's the time to sell your home with Chris Waters, the proven agent who will get you top dollar. Do you need more space with your growing family? Chris Waters guarantees an offer for full market value up front on qualified homes with no required costly repairs or showings, and you can cancel at any time. That's just one of the reasons why Chris Waters is the real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Take Elisa. She needed to move to help with her grandchildren right away. She hired the Chris Waters team and they launched into action like it was their own home. Elisa says, quote, "Days later, I had a cash offer, a good cash offer. I'm so grateful and blessed by Waters Realty." So call the local Texas-based agent who guarantees your home sold at full market value. Call the team I recommend, Chris Waters and Waters International Realty, 214-689-6646, or go to ChristopherWaters.com. That's Christopher Waters with 2 T's.com.
Still got some delays on 175, the eastbound side. They're approaching Haymarket. It looks like that one is still there. Still got a right lane blocked off, so it is definitely still causing some backups. Yeah, on I-20 eastbound 175, 2 left lanes are blocked. That's slowing you back to the SM Wright Freeway. A new 175 northbound and Northwest Highway, 3 left lanes are blocked off. Heavy there all the way back to Knox Henderson. 75 southbound at Parker Road. That one's closing off the right lane. And the Bush Turnpike southbound at Sandy Lake, got the roadway completely shut down for a wreck, already heavy back to I-35E. With WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
This report sponsored by HappyHead.com. Regrow your hair with HappyHead. Visit HappyHead.com for 60% off your first prescription order. HappyHead.com. Prescription products require an online physician consultation and only available if a physician determines a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details and important safety information.
DFW's only FM news, talk, traffic, and weather station. News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Biden drops out. Who will replace him? If you're saying Kamala, like a lot of people, my next question is, well, who would be the VP? Paul sends me a message via Facebook. I guess he's listening on the stream over there, or watching the video stream. He says, it seems like they use Joe's Ukraine negotiating tactic against him. If you drop out, you aren't getting your $100 million. You know, it probably is something close to that, and it's a beautiful irony that there's that backstory that you just mentioned there, the old quote from Ukraine. Well, SOB, you're not getting your $1 billion. You're right. It is something like that. But also, we're going to get the chance to see, Paul, that when Biden is gone and they send him down to the basement forever and ever to be seen again, what is anyone's incentive to buy his influence again? And that will trickle down in the real world is, I wonder what's going to happen to Hunter Biden's bazillion-dollar a year income that he's been raking in for the last decade or so. Is that going to continue? Because if it does, that means he's legitimately an expert in the Ukrainian natural gas industry and the Chinese whatever he's pretending to do for them. But if his millions of dollars flowing from overseas interest dries up, well, then it will confirm your suspicions that, yes, that was just bribes. That was nothing but bribes. It was a money laundering. He's the money laundering bag man for his bribe-taking dad. CH sends me a Facebook message that says, I heard Obama's people and Pelosi/Schumer people told Jill that they'd release his medical records, including mental health, if they didn't pull out this weekend. Oh, and Hillary will kneecap Kamala. Really? I didn't hear about the Hillary kneecapping Kamala stuff. I did hear that Pelosi and Schumer said that they threatened to go public with something. I heard it was like poll results. I don't know where you got medical records from, but interesting. Either you're going to get out or we're going to ruin you. Either you're going to get out or we're going to make sure you lose to their own candidate. After all their voters put him back in. I mean, that is low, unethical, immoral, but sounds quite possible, if not probable. Brandon says he expects a Michelle Obama/Jeffries ticket. And he says Biden is set to speak to America Thursday from the Oval Office. Yeah, and that'll shut up the rumor coming out of Las Vegas that he's already dead or he's so bad off medically that that's why he hadn't been seen. He probably just, I don't know, doesn't feel good. And he might actually have COVID. Don't discount that just because they lie to you about every other thing. Every once in a while they're going to tell the truth, and what are they supposed to do? Yeah. That's another rumor. I'm not going to do that one on this show. And then I've heard from 2 people today. There was one guy in a email to james@wbap.com, and then Tammy also sent me in, please tell me you're having in Blonde Kamala later today. Blonde Kamala will probably be on later this week. We just had her on Friday, and we have some great guests, but I don't like to repeat people on shows, have her on Friday and Mondays, but don't worry. We're going to squeeze as much Blonde Kamala as we can out before now in the election, because this may be the end of Blonde Kamala on the James Show, too. Let's go to the phones now. John in Weatherford has been waiting patiently. Hey, John, you're on WBAP. What do you think, sir?
Well, I have
two things. First of all, I'm not on X, but I can't see how I take his resignation very seriously, considering just about anybody could have gotten on there and submitted that for him. And then if it is real, when is Kamala actually going to go through with the debate in September with the president or with Trump?
She's supposed to. Trump is already kind of stirring that pot because he said, well, now that we're rearranging the debate or the candidates and they're changing the rules midway through, I would like to do a debate on Fox. Can we do one of the debates on a platform that isn't anti-Trump? And that's a paraphrase. It's not exactly what he said, but the debate talk has already come up. So I expect it to happen. I expect Kamala to still be behind and really want to do the debate, and she will be able to goad Trump into a debate because the media is on her side and going to pressure him. So I expect a debate. I certainly do. And that's going to be fantastic to watch, isn't it?
Yes, it will.
All right. We'll keep it here, man. You know, we're going to cover it. I'll record the whole thing, and I'll play all the funny sound bites on the next day on the show. That's what we're here for. I appreciate you calling in, John.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Jake. Jake in Arlington, you're next up on the James Show on WBAP. What do you think about Biden dropping out?
Well, howdy. I have a ton to say. I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but that whole letter seems very suspicious. No presidential seal. I don't know what that's about. It just seems very suspicious.
Can I go ahead and address that first one? So yeah, that was something that was pointed out yesterday in some of the coverage I was watching because I was researching, having to do the coverage last night myself. And yeah, it's from his personal letterhead. That letterhead has been used before. And since this isn't an official act of the president, this is more personal. He's not addressing anything he's doing in an official capacity. This is having to do with his personal political party. So I can see why that doesn't raise any suspicions for me that it wasn't on the presidential letterhead. It was instead on his personal letterhead.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I couldn't find anything myself. And even so, there's a lot saying that doesn't sound like his verbiage and not something how he would say it. I think it kind of leads me on to, with Kamala, something else I was reading last night, and I just couldn't shake this, is people are only supporting her, for diversity. Not one person can mention one positive thing that she is doing. All I read was she's a person of color, she's Asian, she's black, and we're going to make history. Okay, history's great, but I want someone in office who's going to be able to do more than just hold a title, a race card or anything like that. Being out here in Texas, I know I've dealt with ICE. I work with them, and they have many things to say and how this administration has handled this immigration all wrong, totally wrong. They're putting up at nice hotels. They're putting them on their own flights, private flights. They're giving them first-class treatment, and this is Harris's thing. The border is her chaos, and she's created this.
Well, I was really hoping to talk to a Democrat today because I really want to know from not the Democrats on TV and not the politicians who are basically paid to lie to you, but just when I get out of the show, sometimes I really do just call my Democrat friends and ask them how they feel about this. And the question is, did you really just make things better? And I think the answer is yes. And I think they think the answer is yes. But I want to hear how solid they say it. Because Rachel Maddow isn't fooling anybody. She's not excited to be in the position that they're in right now. This is not where she hoped to be on July 22nd of an election year. But, that's why I want to talk to real Democrats. People that call into the show are so valuable if they're calling in from the left side of the aisle, because I feel like we don't get the spin there. For some reason,
absolutely,
it's like being on the internet. You feel like you have this shield of anonymity around you when you're on public radio to say things that you wouldn't say to people's face. So there's an internet quality like that, but that makes it authentic. That makes it valuable. And, people lie to people who take surveys all the time. That's why I'm surprised to hear so many people, especially my guests, say, yeah, Kamala's the presumed nominee, and they'll probably make it somewhat official soon. Don't they have to wait? Don't they have to wait like 4 or 5 days for polling to come out? Should we really expect anything before like a Thursday or a Friday of this week? Because they're going to check to make sure who the strongest candidate is and run with that and act like this was their plan all along. And they don't know that. If they did, I think that they would have announced it at the same time or concurrently with Joe Biden stepping down as the candidate. But that's just what I think. Coming up next, we're going to talk to a representative of the Red Cross of North Texas. A lot of our Texas neighbors to the southeast of us have been dealing with the damage from Hurricane Beryl, and we're going to get an update on how we can help out some of our neighbors next. It's The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Are you a man suffering from a loss of sex drive and symptoms of depression? You may be experiencing male andropause, a condition that affects men often 10 years before women. But don't worry, there's a solution right here in DFW. Welcome to Men's Edge Medical, the pioneers in changing men's lives for 15 years. We understand that your needs are unique, and that's why we offer real results tailored to fit your specific needs. Medications you are taking for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes can worsen the symptoms of male andropause. At Men's Edge Medical, we see patients every day struggling with these symptoms. We also treat patients who have unsuccessfully tried shockwave treatment or have experienced side effects from popular ED medications. If you don't see results after your first visit, your visit is absolutely free. Whether you're dealing with ED or premature stamina, Men's Edge Medical is here to help you regain your confidence and vitality. Call Men's Edge Medical today at 972-996-0900. 972-996-0900. Men's Edge Medical, where your satisfaction is our priority.
Summer's just getting started, so fill your cooler with the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. And with a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is perfect for the beach, the lake, or wherever you're hanging out and day drinking with your friends. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, this is Chris Kroc for Connect Hearing. I've had hearing problems for years. Not anymore. My new Phonak hearing aids from Connect Hearing are literally life-changing. Get your free hearing consultation at any of Connect Hearing's 35 Texas clinics and make sure you mention Chris Kroc for $500 off a new set of hearing aids. Call Connect Hearing at 972-301-7350, 972-301-7350. That's connecthearing.com. Terms and conditions apply. See in-store clinic for details.
In the wake of the recent storm, the residential metal roofing professionals at Mueller Inc. stand with the neighbors as we begin to rebuild together. Hi, everybody. Hal J. here. Before you replace the roof on your home, be sure to consider all of your options, especially those that can help prevent roof damage in the future. Residential metal roofing from Mueller offers outstanding protection against Mother Nature. When installed to specifications, their roofing is designed to withstand winds up to an excess of 100 miles per hour. Plus, Mueller offers a wide selection of colors to give you the beautiful look you want for your home. When you choose Mueller, they will be with you every step of the way, from design to manufacturing to delivery. And they back the products with limited warranties of up to 30 years and over 85 years of experience. Call 877-2-MUELLER or online at MUELLERINC, MuellerInc.com. Be sure to tell them Hal J. said to call.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
North Texas Democrats throw their support behind the vice president. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
75 northbound at North Park. It looks like that one's still there with only the right lane getting by. 45-minute backup solid back to Haskell. Then 635 on the westbound side, Valley View over to the Bush Turnpike. Only one lane getting through. That's heavy to Luna Road. On the Bush Turnpike southbound at Sandy Lake in Carrollton, it looks like that wreck has the freeway shut down. It is still heavy to I-35E. And then Grapevine 114 eastbound at Highway 26. That one blocks that left lane. And WBAP's first traffic on the ones. I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, chance of storms tonight, mostly cloudy, a low 73 degrees. Do have areas of rain throughout Dallas County and areas south of the Metroplex. It is 83 in Dallas, 86 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Structured Foundation Repairs. Area Democrats got together in an open conference call today, throwing full support behind Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party's potential new presidential nominee. Dallas County Judge Clay Lewis Jenkins read a statement from State Senator Royce West, which sums up the support for Harris.
Kamala Harris is ready to be the next president of the United States of America. I join Joe Biden, one of the most exceptional presidents in history, in endorsing Kamala Harris and encourage all those that care about this country to do the same.
Harris must still get the endorsement of the Democratic Party at the Democratic National Convention. That starts August 19th in Chicago. Your Money News, American Airlines reached an agreement with their flight attendants.
Fort Worth-based American Airlines has reached a tentative deal with its flight attendants. Details of the negotiations weren't released, but last month, the company's CEO proposed a 17% wage increase. The union's board of directors and executive committee will need to sign off on the deal before members can vote to ratify it. The union, representing 28,000 flight attendants, has been in negotiations with the airline on a new contract since 2019. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
The Dow closed up 128 points, NASDAQ up 281, the S&P 500 up by 59. Again, the low tonight, 73. It is 83 in Dallas, 86 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Novak Motors. Your next news update is at 5 o'clock. I'm Eric Bushman. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP for the latest on Decision 2024.
So there's nothing like sleeping in your own bed, right? As much as I enjoy getting away for vacation, I think we all love coming back home and sleeping in our own bed. But tonight is the last night for guys who are on the Dallas Cowboys 90-man training camp roster that they'll be able to do that. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Team leaving for California tomorrow to begin the grind of camp. Almost everybody will be there. Almost. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to hold out. Wants a contract extension, where he's scheduled to make almost $18 million this year, but wants to be paid a lot more. A lot. Like $30 million plus. And then you've got the boss, Jerry Jones. Not sure when he'll show up in Oxnard. He's in Texarkana. He's in a courtroom. Jones is in a trial against a woman who says he is her father. A jury hearing his breach of contract case against 27-year-old Alexandra Davis and her mother, Cynthia Davis, accusing them of breaching a settlement they entered more than 2 decades ago. And the Rangers start the week 5 games behind Houston and Seattle, who are tied right now for first place in the AL West standings. Texas hoping to play better over the next 4 days at home against the White Sox than they did over the weekend, where they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. That's your Monday afternoon sports update. I'm Steve Lamb.
Brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Sell your home stress-free this summer with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Skip the hassle of a traditional home sale while receiving the strongest cash offer on your home. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Shop Macy's Backstage today for amazing deals on everything you need for summer. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
DFW's #1 rated news, traffic, and weather station.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome back to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hurricane Beryl didn't affect us directly, but it did affect a lot of our neighbors. And actually, when you take the wide scope of how many people are covered by the WBAP umbrella, some of our neighbors may need a little help to steer us in the right direction, get us off all this political talk just for a little bit. We can talk about helping our neighbors. We have Lisa Brady, the CEO of the Red Cross of North Texas, on the James Show. How much damage and suffering and recovery and Red Cross missions are you dealing with right now, Linda?
A lot. We have provided overnight stays for almost 800 people. They have stayed with us almost 6,000 nights total. We've had 36 shelters open. And the issue here has been the heat and the power loss that happened right after the hurricane, right? So we had all of this need for, people didn't have air conditioning, and so they couldn't cook food and that sort of thing. So we have distributed, if you can believe this, over 80,000 hot meals. We've distributed 265,000 shelf-stable meals. And we've distributed almost 65,000 just cleanup and comfort items and that sort of thing. We've had 700 people working on this job. So there has been a lot of work done to meet those immediate needs that people had just for food and shelter.
Yeah, one of the scary things that happens when you have the power go out for an extended amount of time, a lot of us are just annoyed because all the food in our fridge goes bad, but there's a handful of people who have medications like insulin and whatnot that have to be refrigerated. How big of an issue is that?
Yeah, that's a huge issue for people who, particularly elderly people or people who have medical needs in particular that are on regular prescriptions. And so we do provide replacement. We can help people replace those, and so they don't have to pay necessarily out of pocket for that. So that's another thing that we help with.
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah.
Well, talk about what the average person listening can do to help.
Oh, definitely the average person listening can donate their time as a volunteer. They can donate their money as a financial contributor, and they can also donate blood. Sometimes people don't think about the need for blood transfusions and things like that during this time, but we are, experiencing the blood shortage right now. And so there's a number of ways that you can donate. And we really appreciate, as I mentioned, we've had over 700 people that have been working on this disaster response operation. That's just people that just give up their time and come. Some of them come for 2 weeks or even 3 weeks to work and help their neighbors.
Wow.
So it's very heartwarming to work with those folks.
They're angels. It's good for your soul to be one of those people, too.
It absolutely is. Yeah, that's what I think not everybody realizes is that's an outlet for you to help, and it makes you feel good.
All right, Linda Brady, the CEO of the North Texas Red Cross, what's your contact info?
You can go to redcross.org, and you can go /volunteer, or you can go /donate. And so you can find information there. You can also find my email address there if you want to contact me directly, but there's all kinds of Red Cross information online. There's also an app that's free that you can download, and you can get information there.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda. Thanks for helping our neighbors out.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right. Let's go to the phones. Vince in Dallas, you're next up on the James Show on WBAP. What do you think, sir?
Hey, I was just listening on the tail end before your guest came on, and I heard one of the guys going on and say, Kamala Harris he kind of paraphrased it like she was a DEI or, something like that. And it just hit me. Why is it always, when it comes to a black person in a certain position, everybody always think, oh, that's DEI? Because I heard one of the Texas.
Well, I have an answer for that.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first off, it's a misconception. It's not every time. It's not every time a black person is in a position of power is considered DEI. It is considered DEI when a black person is put in a position of power and the person making that decision has already decided beforehand that they're going to choose someone based on their traits. And so when Joe Biden says, I don't know who my vice president is going to be, but I know I'm going to pick a black female, then you know, Vince, that means he's not going to pick the person with the most merit. He's going to pick the person with the most merit who also fits these qualifications. Now, that's exactly what.
Okay. I can go, if we're going to go by that,
okay.
Then what about Amy Coney Barrett? Remember, Trump said he was going to pick a woman when it was time for her to come up.
I don't remember him saying that, but if he did, it deserves the same criticism.
Of course it does.
Okay, but look, I'm pretty sure he didn't say that, but that being said, if he did, I'd criticize it right along with you.
I remember him saying that because I remember one of the guys that I worked with at the time was somebody, on your side. You said you want to hear somebody on the Democratic side, so he was on your side, and at the time, DEI wasn't a big deal then. It was, a couple of years ago, but he did say he disagreed with Trump picking somebody just because she was a woman. I remember him saying that. But, I digress. I'm not a big Kamala Harris fan. Let me just say that. But I will always, I would vote for Cricket before I vote for Trump. Oh, anybody that's running against Trump, I'll vote for them. But I wish it was somebody else.
Who do you wish it was, Vince?
If I was going to go with anybody that I could pick, of course I would pick Bernie Sanders first. But I know he's not going to run. So I would probably say Gavin Newsom because I think Gavin Newsom actually goes I think he's kind of slick. He got a lot of slick parts about him that I really don't like. But then, too, I think he goes after the Democrats. I'm sorry, he goes after the Republicans.
Well, Vince, check this out. I think I found the clip you're looking for. This was Trump, September 21st in 2020.
First of all, we're working very hard on getting a third Supreme Court justice. And I'm going to announce who that is. The only thing I'll say for the women, it will be a woman.
There you go. So this is, look, from my interpretation of that, this is a couple days before he announces, and he already knows who it's going to be, so he's just throwing out a hint that it's a woman. Not that he picked her based on being a woman, but if he did, I condemn that. That's a DEI hire, too. You'll get consistency from me on that one. You still with me, Vince? Oh, no, he dropped off. All right. That's all right. I need to take a break anyway. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
President Biden drops out of the 2024 race. Who will step up? Vice President Kamala Harris or someone else? Keep connected, DFW, and hear history in the making. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Remember, that's Cars with a K.
This 2024 Summer Olympics go beyond the stats and highlights to connect with original stories of our North Texas athletes live. I'm NBC5's Laura Harris, and I'll see you in Paris.
Starting July 26th on NBC5.
Get connected with NBC5 News on your favorite streaming services.
Stream us for free on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Xumo Play, and Fire TV.
The most accurate forecast, breaking news, plus exclusive stories.
Get connected at NBCDFW.com/everywhere.
Ever since I was a kid, I looked up to my dad. Man, he could fix anything, including power generators. That puff of smoke and the sound of the machine roaring with electricity was the coolest thing ever. He'd give me a high five and say, "Son, you're the Kennerator." Since then, I've spent decades building my company with one goal, helping people like my dad did. And now, I own the best generator company in DFW. See our story at Kenerator.com. Like generator with a K. Kenerator.com.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent, urgent need to urinate or a weak flow? Do you suffer from an enlarged prostate or BPH? Know your options. If BPH medications are bothering you, or you're worried about invasive surgery, ask about the UroLift system. The UroLift system is an outpatient, minimally invasive procedure. It reopens the channel with no cutting and provides rapid symptom relief with no new, sustained erectile or ejaculatory dysfunction, as shown in a clinical study. Go to urolift.com and click on Find a Physician for a doctor near you. Urolift.com. UROLIFT.com. Most common side effects are temporary and can include discomfort when urinating, urgency, inability to control the urge, pelvic pain, and some blood in the urine. Rare side effects, including bleeding and infection, may lead to a serious outcome and may require intervention. If you suffer from symptoms of an enlarged prostate or BPH, the UroLift system is a proven alternative to BPH medication or invasive surgery. Visit urolift.com and click on Find a Physician to speak to a doctor to see if you're a candidate for the UroLift system.
This year, resolve to take care of all of those pesky home repair projects you've been putting off in an easy, stress-free way. The Good Contractors List has fully vetted contractors for all of your home projects, from gutters to garage floor coatings, painters to pest control. The Good Contractors List has the pro for you. And even better than that, they back all their contractors with a $10,000 guarantee. So you're not left with an unfinished project if something goes awry. Promising such a hefty guarantee means the Good Contractors List has to carefully select only the best contractors with a proven track record of solid work and great business ethics. Stop worrying that your project could go sideways and find your stress-free home contractors for every project at thegoodcontractorslist.com. That's thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Still seeing those delays. You make your way along I-20 westbound at St. Augustine. That one's still closing off the two left lanes. Heavy there back to 635. 75 northbound at Northwest Highway. The right lane's blocked. Hour-long backup now to Haskell. Closure in Carrollton. Bush Turnpike on the southbound side at Sandy Lake. The freeway shut down. That's heavy to I-35E. Also got a wreck on I-35E southbound at McCormick and Denton. That one in the two left lanes. 114 eastbound at Highway 26 in Grapevine. Still got a left lane blocked for a crash. And a new one in Fort Worth on I-35W southbound at 121. With WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
For nearly 30 years, Thomas J. Henry has fought day in and day out for every client we've had the honor of representing. In our town, in our community, we will always be the name you trust. Thomas J. Henry. Available 24/7 nights and weekends. San Antonio, Texas.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome. It's the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Thank you very much for hanging out with us as we walk through history together. That's the fun part is, this is history that is going to be written in a history book that your kid or, probably your grandkid might read in their social studies class in a few years, but you're getting to see it right now in real time, in full color, in stereo, or if you're on the AM side, I guess it's in mono, but I don't know. I know I don't have an important job, but this is as close as it gets. And it's not that I'm bagging on myself. It's just if the world was going to be flooded and you were making a Noah's Ark and you put all the worthwhile professions on there, radio talk show hosts would not make it on the Ark. They wouldn't even let me. I'd be right there next to the art teachers and the calligraphers, and the baristas would be on before me. 800-288-9227. Behind me, though, would be like politicians and college professors and these other people that think they're important. I can at least admit my limited importance. To the phones we go. BJ in Clifton, you're on WBAP. What do you think's going on?
Well, hey, I was just listening to your guy talking about Gavin Newsom, and I would like to ask him a question. Was he even aware that Newsom supported a bill in his state that would allow children to change the gender of their pronoun. Let's say they are a girl and they want to be known as a he, then they can so do that in public school in California without telling parents.
Okay.
So my question to the guy is...
Already know the answer. BJ, let me ask you another hypothetical. If Gavin Newsom was running for president against literally Hitler, who would you vote for?
Oh, my gosh.
You'd vote for Gavin Newsom, and that's okay, but you got to remember, this is how they see it. They have been convinced. They're not kidding around. We think they're kidding around when they're like, well, this is just what the Nazis would do. Well, some of them are kidding around, but there's a lot of people out there who believe this. There's a lot of people out there who really think Trump is an evil, racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe.
I swear. It just blows my mind that people can be so absolutely uninformed, not intelligent. They do not seek good information from a good source. They just believe what we're being told via I call it the ABCs, the stations that are so liberal, it's ridiculous.
Right, and that's the interesting part is I can almost understand how dumb people are duped, but smart people who've been duped. Like I was saying earlier, Rachel Maddow's not stupid. She was a Rhodes Scholar, which means she went to Harvard not as some sort of quota fill, but based on merits. She's not dumb. One of my friends is a college professor. She's a rabid liberal. She's not dumb. She knows how to open up your DNA strand with the protease enzyme, change out some of the amino acids, and zip it back up. She's not a stupid person. The best man at my wedding he's a lawyer. He's a Puerto Rican socialist. He's not dumb. They've just signed on to the wrong political philosophy. And if you're wondering, like, well, how can they think that? How can they just want government to grow and keep providing all these benefits to the public sector until it inflates our currency and bankrupts us? Well, that's what every single empire in history has done. All their smart people, dumb people, academics, it doesn't seem to be dependent on your intelligence, because I also know some really dumb people that are like, capitalism is better than socialism while they're eating boogers, So it doesn't seem like intelligence, being dumb or smart is part of the equation. You just need to be signed on to the right philosophy.
Exactly. It's just not part of the equation. But I challenge that man that called in. If he's got grandkids, he needs to take a look at what Newsom supports. And by golly, if I don't know who's going to end up in there, I still think there's going to be a Clinton, possibly coming in, or the big word Obama with the first word that starts with an M. I don't even want to say those two.
She who shall not be named.
Yes.
That's taking it a little far. I heard another just horrible description of the dynasty thing we have going on right now. This is the first, now that he stepped down, this will be the first election since like 1976 where we don't have a Bush, Clinton, or Biden on the ticket.
Golly. Well,
I know.
But, hey, can I say one more thing?
If you say it in 30 seconds.
I can say it in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Please, Trump, listen to us. We loved what you did in the debate. You rolled it back. We like that you are presidential, that you are refusing to use that lingo that brings you down to a junior high type language. Enlarge your vocabulary. You be the bigger man. You make us believe in you. You can change America, but America is looking for honesty and quality and truth and generosity, and not somebody seeking out to slice somebody else's throat for revenge. I want Trump to shine, and he did in the debate, but don't start coming in with that yucky language. I voted for him the last time. I'm voting for him this time, but I want him to be presidential. I know he's what America needs.
All right, BJ, you got the last word. That's all the time we got. Thank you very much. You just finished out the James Show. BJ and Clifton gave the final farewell speech. Thank you very much for hanging out today. Coming up next, Mark Levin. If you need some more James in your life, the podcast lives on WBAP.com or the WBAP app, or you can also look for it if you type in James Parker, The James Show, or you're already listening to podcasts on other apps. Maybe it'll pop up there. You can try that. But definitely find me on social media. Like, follow, subscribe, share my posts, all that good stuff. Help me get the word out. I got 4 kids, and I want them to go to college. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Wayne Starin, D.C. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually damage to the nerves, most often in the feet, legs, and hands.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results. Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations.
Call 469-751-8262. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 469-751-8262. That's 469-751-8262.
You feel the heat in your home and on your electric bill. You know the summer heat is seeping in through your windows. The fix is easy, it's beautiful, and it's affordable during Statewide Remodeling's 60-60-60 sale. For 30 years, Statewide has replaced hundreds of thousands of windows, and for good reason. Superior quality and style for any budget makes Statewide the right choice for homeowners who want style and savings. Hi, it's Ernie. You know, the time to update is now during the Statewide 60-60-60 sale. Get 60% off installation, 60-month low financing, and a $60 Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate whether you buy or not. Also, Statewide windows qualify for up to $1,200 in savings from the Inflation Reduction Act. Mention Ernie Brown and get a bonus $200 Visa gift card with purchase. Hire the team I recommend for the stunning windows you desire. Visit StatewideRemodeling.com now to schedule your estimate and get all the details. Go to StatewideRemodeling.com today during Statewide 60-60-60 sale.
You wouldn't go to a foot doctor for a toothache, so why call a plumbing or air conditioning company for electrical work? Call My Electric Company, my friend and owner of Mr. Electric, Robert Loomis.
Thanks, Al. Great to see you again. Remember, we only specialize in everything electric. Make sure to call us for anything that you need electrical, whether it's EV charging, new lighting, generators, doesn't matter, all things electric. At Mr. Electric, safety is our top priority. We're a family-owned, always on time, and provide upfront pricing. That way there's never an unpleasant surprise. That's our Mr. Electric guarantee.
That's Mr. Electric, offering $200 off any panel replacement and a free home safety check with any service. We had quite a list when you visited the Hal J household and your expert electricians got it all done. Call Mr. Electric. Check out Mr. Electric's Google ratings and reviews for yourself. Now servicing Denton, Louisville, and Frisco. Go to Mr. Electric Dallas or MrElectricFortWorth.com.
We're Mr. Electric. We have the power to make things better.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Mom, it's school shopping time.
On it. Ooh, Target has select supplies like crayons and glue sticks for 25 cents, plus markers for 50 cents.
Next, my new Rockstar vibe means new clothes.
Ooh, totally. These graphic tees are $6 and made to last.
And a strawberry lunch bag to match my sweet personality.
Got it. And it's only $5. Plus, get your favorite Good and Gather snacks. They're now at a new lower price.
Best team ever.
When it comes to low prices, Target has your back to school.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
How quickly the vice president could wrap up a presumptive nomination. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Got delays on I-20 westbound before St. Augustine. 2 left lanes taken away, so it's solid. Back to 635. 75 northbound at Northwest Highway. The right lane blocked. It's slowing you back to Haskell. That's a 20-minute delay. Carrollton, Bush Turnpike southbound still closed at Sandy Lake for the wreck. It's heavy back to I-35E. In Denton, a wreck on I-35E southbound at McCormick has that left lane blocked off, and one clearing in Fort Worth on I-35W southbound at Highway 121. With WBAP's first traffic on the ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
I'm WFA meteorologist Kyle Roberts. Each day the rest of the week and into the weekend will feature about a 20 to 30% coverage of showers and storms, so it won't rain everywhere or all day long. But the rain around will help keep highs below normal for this time of the year. Tonight it's a low of 73, 91 tomorrow for your Tuesday, around 90 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, 91 again on Friday, 93 Saturday, and then around only 90 on Sunday.
Rain on the east side of the Metroplex is bringing the temperature down. 76 in Dallas, meanwhile 87 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Waters International Realty. More and more political experts think Vice President Kamala Harris will become the presumptive nominee without a chaotic Democratic National Convention. SMU political science professor Dr. Cal Jilson tells the James Show on WBAP this will wrap up quickly.
More than half of elected Democrats in both the House and the Senate, more than half of Democratic governors in the country have already endorsed Harris, and Nancy Pelosi has, and other leading Democrats will in short order, including Barack Obama.
Democrats quickly threw their support behind Harris moments after President Joe Biden announced he was stepping aside. Meanwhile, the president has been largely out of the spotlight since making the announcement yesterday. Here's Fox's Jackie Heinrich.
We still have not seen President Biden, who made the decision to end his race in near total isolation, battling COVID in Rehoboth, poring over data with 2 of his closest advisors, Steve Ricchetti and Mike Donilon, that same data that Nancy Pelosi was reportedly ready to make public to force the president's hand if he didn't bow out of the race. Now, the question remains, what is the reason that the president's 50-year career came to a close like this, with his allies abandoning him in his most perilous moment as the money